from a planet he's like he's killed or done a genocide on. Nothing similar.
Like,
See,
like
this is the thing with you. I'm not gonna go into this for too long. This is the thing you do, MCU fans. We supported DC fans supported that trash MCU when it fucking began. We supported it, right? Because we were like, okay, fine, be happy. Soon as the DC came out, films came out, MCU fans started going at it. Like, even critics, it's anyway. I'm not gonna argue anymore.
You talk a lot of shit.
The first comic book movie I ever fell in love with was The Dark Knight. So I'm not an MCU apologist. I also said that I didn't like either of the 3 shows that they released. WandaVision was the only one that was even salvageable to me. I criticize it ad nauseum. I also think that something that you do is you just repeat what the character's motivations are or what happens in the movie and just say that's why it's good. Like,
no, I didn't.
With Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor.
I said that was a unique villain, and thank you for using my argument that I use against the philosophical pickle, but thank you. It's very good. But yes, I said that this is a unique it was a unique motivation for Steppenwolf. And that have you ever heard a motivation like that for a villain? And you said, oh yeah, I did. It was Thanos' daughter, and it's nonsense. It's not even you claim it. It's not even. Yeah.
Listen. Oh my gosh, you said that Lex Luthor was unique too, which I agree. But just because it's unique doesn't make it good. So.
Lex Luthor was trash.
I didn't say Lex Luthor was unique. Actually, I don't think. I just said that I liked his dialogue. Basically, I liked the actual dialogue, and I thought some of his plan, the way they executed the plan, would have been good. It's just that they needed to cast somebody else. That was my complaint about it. But anyway, my point is this. Yeah. Look, this is my point. I'm just saying. MCU fans are way too hard on the DC, and I do the same thing to them, and they go fucking crazy over it. That's why I do this. I'm gonna be as hard on the MCU, which it has tons of flaws in it, right? And they're not good movies. Really, they aren't. Like, when you look and compare them to actual fucking great movies and great cinema, they're pretty. They are the equivalent of trailer park trash.
You're calling Snyder's Cut a masterpiece. Well, fuck off with that, dude.
Snyder's is good filmmaking in comparison with a lot.
Oh, look, I sucked out all the colors. I'm a dark director. Oh man, I'm impressed.
Shit. What up, K-Dot? Thank you for popping.
Anyway, I'm not gonna do this anymore with you, man.
You're a bullshit artist, nerd. Man.
You're a bullshitter. You are
what is up?
Bullshitter.
All right, so I'm gonna get to the next one. Yeah, no. Go ahead.
Let's get on to the next one. Let's go on to the next one.
Let him finish. What's up, movie? What's going on? Let film finish. Go ahead, finish. Film what you were saying.
I can see the difference in Joker, The Dark Knight, Wonder Woman, movies that are good between ones that aren't. You say everything that the MCU does, minus like 2 or 3 movies, are trash. So that makes you the one that has a bias.
That's not true. If I call it as I see it, but anyway, let's get on with this. We're taking a complete different.
The way you call it is trash, nerd man. The way you call things are absolute trash. I agree with Film on that 100%. We can never take your words and your ranking seriously.
I'll tell you what. I believe it. And I think it's absolutely true. And I think history will vindicate me one day.
All right. Okay, no problem. So next one we have is Batman v Superman. And I'm going to put Batman versus Superman in okay. I really liked it. I thought it was, not really liked it. There's things about it I liked, I should say. Right? So I like some of the chemistry between Batman and Superman. I like the fight that they had. It has a lot of issues in this movie that really just are like, oh my God, why the fuck did you put Doomsday in here? Not only did you put Doomsday in here, Doomsday looks like a fucking troll or ogre or whatever the fuck you call them from Lord of the Rings. That's what he looked like. Did not look like Doomsday to me whatsoever. Wonder Woman was actually one of the saving graces of that movie. You know, just when she pops on the scene and her music comes off, it's like, oh yeah, that's the shit. You know, but I know people like to complain about the Martha stuff, and I get it. I do, but I still compare it to that dance off at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't like that, so I have to be, you know, fair and say
Right.
that I didn't like the Martha shit either. I'm like that. I think it's this kind of same level of stupidity in these movies. It just doesn't work for me, you know. Jesse Eisenberg was the fucking worst Lex Luthor in the history of fucking Batman movies. He was the absolute
Batman movies.
worst. Yes,
You mean
whichever
Superman
fucking
movies.
Superman movies, whichever fucking movies we have Lex Luthor in, he was the absolute 100 worst out of all of them. The bottle of the barrel. If we were ranking the actors, he would be in the wouldn't wipe my ass with this shit category. So, what are your thoughts on it? Let's go to film for this time. Where's your list?
Yeah,
Still have your list up?
I love how you're ashamed of liking the movie. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, I'll share.
No, I'm not ashamed of it. Yeah,
You are. That's why you put it in okay. You're ashamed of liking it. Anyway, go on. FilmElitist.
Yeah, 1 second.
Oh,
Sorry.
Pickle wants to come in. Yeah, no problem. I thought you were doing your thing. That's why I didn't send it to you. But no problem, Pickle. Where's your list at? Did you get rid of your list? I don't see it here.
No, I'm
What,
trying
mine?
to share it.
No, film
Oh.
list. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
There it is.
All right. Here we go. Film.
So I have BVS ranked one step above poo poo. What saves it from being absolute trash is the Batman warehouse stuff and how cool he looked. Everything else in this movie is an abomination.
See? Exaggeration again.
Exaggeration
Again. Hyperbole, exaggeration.
Hold on.
Unnecessary.
Okay, hold on. I'm about to unload on your ass. Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg, garbage.
Yeah.
Martha, garbage. A lot of the fight scenes, garbage. Batman killing people, garbage. The dark, sucked out colors that makes people think Zack Snyder's a genius, garbage. Reductionism bullshit. The writing, bad. The plot motivations, bad. The fact the first time we see the Trinity, it doesn't even make you excited, bad. Doomsday, bad. CGI on Doomsday, bad. Do I need to keep going or?
So first of all, there's a whole ton more to the film than what you just discussed. The Batman throughout the film is cool, interesting version of the Batman. The fact that Batman kills, it's bad, but it's not like fucking terrible. Still entertaining, the action scenes and the way he's fighting. Still entertaining, what Superman does throughout the movie in terms of his action. Every action scene is fucking really good, in fact, apart from maybe the Batman v Superman scene. Wonder Woman actually very fucking good in the movie. Like the political and philosophical discussions within the movie, very interesting. Different to what you see in other superhero movies. Something actually a little bit.
Superman's an alien. We gotta stop him.
Much like Civil War. Oh, when superheroes come into the world, supervillains come even harder. What a fucking interesting philosophical discussion. Winter Soldier. It's actually a political. It's like a fucking social political thriller because
I'm not just gonna let you talk.
Hold on, Nerdman. Hold on.
Bullshit.
Don't even try to talk about fucking Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier is one of the best MCU movies. It's in the top.
And everything you
I didn't say it wasn't.
In Civil War,
I didn't say it wasn't.
In Civil War, you've got like 7 years of buildup of multiple solo and team movies, destruction that the Avengers cause. In this, we have one movie of one person, Superman, and then we get Lex Luthor instead of Thaddeus Ross, who has one scene. Lex Luthor has an entire 2-act arc where he's bumbling around going, "Oh, Superman's oh God, if man can't coexist with God, that's not
what
deep.
he's saying.
That's
But anyway,
shit. That's shit.
nothing. That isn't deep. You're right. That isn't deep. What you said isn't deep, and none of the movie is specifically fucking deep. It's just interesting, like to have those discussions within a fucking movie. It's not about it being profoundly deep. You're not supposed to be at a philosophy seminar when you're watching a Batman v Superman movie. It's just like questions about the nature of Superman, what he means to the world, etc., etc. That are just explored. Surface level. So is it, so just like the MCU, but it doesn't matter. That's not the point of it. It's like the asking the questions, opening up those questions. You know, Fight Club is surface level, right? Like that's not massively fucking deep when in terms of the philosophy, right? Involved in it. Yeah, it has some interesting questions it poses, but it's not massively deep. It's just a well-written story that explores certain philosophical ideas in an open-ended way.
I don't understand the comparison because Fight Club has an execution that this movie doesn't.
Oh, I'm not saying Fight Club isn't better than fucking the Batman v Superman, but I'm saying you saying the philosophical, you know, like him saying, you know, if God is all good, then he can't be all, you know, whatever. He does the question of basically poses the question of evil, right? Like in the film, right? So if God is all good, then he can't be basically moral, and if he's moral, like if he's ultimately very like good, then he can't be all powerful essentially.
You mean something that Zack Snyder ripped out of the pages of a million philosophers' books and then was
right? No, but the whole point is the question of asking that in relation to Superman is actually interesting because that's what he's been always touted as in the comics. He's someone who is all powerful but all good, right? So questioning that in relation to a philosophical question that exists throughout history about the nature of that's true, but like people have you know have seen him in the comics as all powerful. But this is again,
where are you ranking it?
Okay, you're turning me around in like fucking circles with this because it's not what I was saying about.
Where are you ranking it? Hey, Pickle, what's up? Glad you could join us.
What's up, guys?
Is this your first time on the channel, Pickle?
No, the first time was your birthday stream.
Okay, right. Well, second time, thank you very much. I put the tier list into the private chat, so if you want to follow along with us and do yours, you could put it on the share screen.
I don't know where Batman v Superman is. All right, here we go.
Oh, okay. I've never ranked anything before. This is cool.
Liar.
I've never done a tier ranking like this.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh,
which ones have we done so far?
Yeah. So we have done. Hold on, let me get mine up here.
BVS.
We done. Yeah, Batman and Robin, Justice League, Batman versus Superman, and we also did Justice League Snyder Cut. I just used Justice League War for it because it's not there, and those are the 4 we've done so far.
Okay. Hey, Anzo, can you bring up Movie Aficionado's comment?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, BVS, the FilmElitist opinion is a category.
In Nerdman's list, yes, because Nerdman is a troll movie. Josh, Nerdman is a troll. That is why.
I'm not trolling. I don't know why anyone believes or thinks that I don't believe.
Pickle, he has
absolutely
Snyder Cut as masterpiece, and he has Batman v Superman just one tier below that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's work. It's interesting. It looks beautiful. Also, I think it's like a graphic novel, like one of the DC's dark graphic novels come to life. It is a love letter to the in some of those graphic novels. Has some flaws. Has the same flaws.
What movie?
The Batman v Superman. It has the same flaws as it.
Yeah.
It has the same flaws as its director, right? Because it's not part of some mass, machine-made fucking like every action scene or action choreography done by the same company, all the CGI, everything. Basically, the director isn't even a director. The director doesn't even direct these movies. They basically get them in just to be there you know, and have all the film, like their same film crew, same fucking people doing the CGI. It's not the creative voice of an individual. This is the creative voice of one individual, you know, and it has those flaws that it has the flaws of that individual in it. That is
Tommy
true.
said, I think some of the animated versions are better, like Batman by Gaslight. Some of the animated versions are absolutely better than a lot of the DC movies, if not all, to be honest with you. Like Public Enemy.
Yeah, but they're better than every comic book movie, though. Like
I wouldn't say that.
Animated films. Those animated films are better than DC and like a Marvel movie.
I would say some of them, maybe not all. And for one, let you know this, ain't none of them better than Infinity War. Not one.
All right, fair enough.
Correct.
Fair enough.
And
Dark Knight Returns.
One individual, yes. Pickle, let me know when you're ready to have yours up there, and I'll share the screen. And I will go back to mine. The next
I'm gonna
movie.
Need 2 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. The next movie on
go on.
No. What were you gonna say first?
No, I'm just saying, like, when you have movies that aren't made on a conveyor belt where everything is set up for everyone, like before the film is even started filming, right? Like, I think it's much more of a it's much more, you know. Forget it. Don't worry. Don't worry. I haven't slept.
Civil War and Winter Soldier weren't the
shit.
Russo brothers' vision.
I don't think so. No,
different. They're not distinctly different from the rest of the MCU. You're
No.
full of shit.
So whose vision was it, Nerd Man? You think it was Kevin Feige and they just did it?
Yeah.
Because if you know about how Kevin Feige, right, he gives them an outline, but he lets them do whatever they want to in the movie.
But he hires all of the people who are going to do the action. He hires all of the choreographers. He hires all of the CGI people. He hires everything.
Justice League.
Around it.
I got it.
Yep. Batman versus Superman.
Yep.
And Justice League Snyder Cut.
Okay, so I got mine.
All right. So because we all did ours, let's see where Pickle ranks his first 4 movies. So when you're ready to share your screen, share it up, brother.
Now this is the correct ranking right here.
What's up, MSK? Thanks for popping in, brother. Much appreciated.
I need to go to sleep. He's right.
All right. So what's your ranking? What we got here?
So I have at the very top is the peak of comic book movies, The Avengers. Okay, that is master level comic book movie. Then you have great, good, meh, bad, Gal Gadot's acting, and then Martha at the very bottom. Okay. I think that so I have Zack Snyder's Justice League is meh. It's a 5 out of 10. It's right in the middle for me. BVS is as bad as Gal Gadot's acting, and then Justice League 2017 and Batman and Robin are hands down in the Martha category.
Nice.
Okay. I ain't mad at that one. Even though I don't agree with your Zack Snyder take on it, but I think Zack Snyder's Snyder Cut was better than Endgame. That's just my opinion.
Well, for every great, like, there were some great moments, but for every great moment, there were 2 just fucking cringeworthy facepalm moments.
I get it. It's not a perfect movie. It's not a masterpiece like people try to make it out to be, right? But for me, like I said earlier, it's just for me that middle part of Endgame, I can't watch.
Oh, I agree with you there.
What I'm saying is, though, that it's as flawed as the artist, and that's the difference, right? What you see in DC movies, it's as flawed as the artist, and what the artist does, by themselves, I think is more of an achievement than just having some mass machine produce, a conveyor belt of, these fucking movies, like 22, 23, 27 movies.
But when they're
and they look and feel a lot of the same.
When you're mass producing gold bricks or like a really nice
Big Macs,
and it's quality content. Keep
Big Macs.
I don't give a fuck, dude. Zack Snyder is the Picasso of movie of filmmakers, dude. Picasso's work is fucking ugly if you really look at it, but people look at the fucking scribbles and the mustard that he fucking slung onto the canvas and say,
right?
He's a genius. They interpret
He is
shit.
he is a fucking genius.
No,
That's
he
a
is
really
not.
bad example.
No,
Like
he is
Zack
not.
Snyder
is
is the
not.
Picasso of.
So Blasted sent a $5 super
No, no.
chat. Thank you for that very much. So Blasted, glad you could make it. Glad you could pop in, man. Seeing you were doing a game stream today, I popped in for a bit, but was it today? Yeah, I would think it was today. Man, can't wait to get your stuff running up and going, man. I'll be there supporting you just like you support me. So much respect. MSK is still here. That's Big Macs are good. Yes, I like Big Macs, and now they have the Grand Big Mac. Ooh, yeah, man. Love me some Big Macs. Next movie is gonna go up
Big
to.
Macs aren't bad. They're
No,
not
I
good
like
either, though. They're not bad.
Mac.
That's the best way to describe them. Not
It's
bad.
yeah, it's a hit and miss. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get it, and that shit just goes down so good. It's like, yo, I think I could eat another one. And then sometimes you get it, it's just like, oh man, why did I
And it's
fucking
just-
eat this shit? Right. So next movie is going to be Batman 1989. Shit, I almost forgot the year. Batman 89. Now I am going to put Batman 89. Can anybody guess? I wouldn't wipe my ass. No, absolutely not. It is going in God tier.
God
and
tier, yeah.
And it's definitely going ahead of Justice League. That's for sure. I remember going to see this movie in the theater and being wowed when I came out of there, man. And I seen it like 3 or 4 times in the theater. I was like, Michael Keaton as Batman? Like, that's kind of a weird choice. It's like, I don't know, man, but he fucking pulled it off. I know a lot of you youngings like to say, oh, the way he fight, it was bad. But for me, I love the way he was fighting in that movie. Not my favorite Batman because of Ben Affleck, but for this movie in 1989, the Batmobile and everything, this movie was classic, and it will always be a classic to me. It's one of those movies I can just go back and watch anytime it is on. I love it. Jack Nicholson's Joker is the best Joker. He portrays Joker from the comic perfectly than anyone else. Like, I know a lot of people like Heath Ledger's Joker, and it's a different kind of Joker, and it's good. But if you're talking about comic book accurate Joker, it was Jack Nicholson. So I'm gonna go with Pickle first on this one. Your screen is still up there. Pickle, where do you put Batman 89?
Okay, I'm gonna be. Where is it?
It's just with Batman and
where is it on the screen?
Yeah, I'm looking for right there.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, it's a weird poster.
Yeah, it is.
I don't enjoy this movie, but I can respect it for what it did and how important it is. So
no, just rate it for how you think it's good. Or how good you think it is.
Don't tell the man how to rate the movie, man. Let the man rate
important.
The movie.
I think there are some really good. There are some really good elements in it, and it's an important movie. And I do respect things that like start trends. But if I'm being like just in a vacuum, it's Gal Gadot's acting. But I'll put it up to bad for me.
Wow.
Just put it where you want it. Put it in Gal Gadot's acting. It was an important movie.
Jack Nicholson's performance is really fun. I think that Gotham is like lively. I love the sets. The music is good. So I mean, it's not as bad as Gal Gadot's acting. It's right about.
Okay.
I actually thought that Nerd Man would be the first to catch one, but
I will fuck you up.
That's for you, Pickle. You put in Batman 89 in bad. That is absolutely horrible. I do not like that choice at all. But now we are going to go to your brother. Let's see where your brother puts Batman 89. Go ahead, Film.
I got it in the average category. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's...
I can't. Go on.
Fine.
Carry on.
No, it's okay. I know you like to talk over people to make it sound like you're right, but that's not actually how it works. But anyways, it's average. Michael Keaton is not a good Batman. People have nostalgia goggles on for this. He matches Bruce Wayne from the comic book, since we're talking about comic accurate, to a 0 percentile. 0 percentile as Batman and as Bruce Wayne. He doesn't look like Batman. He doesn't look like Bruce Wayne. He doesn't act like either. But to Pickle's point, I think Gotham looks cool. It looks dark. Jack Nicholson's got a cool performance going on. He looks like the Joker. And I think, you know, there's some fun stuff in it. It's kind of fun and campy in a way that, like, it's not offensive to me. I don't think it's bad. It's just average.
Dude, we're about to get Phantom Zoned.
Yeah, Film, you know you're my boy, right? But
Fuckface. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
Hey, I'm standing by it, dude. People have nostalgia goggles on bad for this movie. Bad.
All right. Okay.
Superman 1 and 2 are way better than the Burton Batman movies.
Oh wow.
Way better.
That's well, at least for Batman 1, that is actually true. Is it my turn?
Yes, it is. I was just looking for another one for fucking Film, but I'll get him next time. Go ahead, nerd man.
Yeah, Batman 89 is I think a really good start to you know, the Batman movies. Like live action, it was dark. I like the Gotham setting, as they said. I think Michael Keaton was a hell of a Batman. When he did that Batman, when he did the Bruce Wayne scene where he's like, you know, like, you want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. That for me is that crazy side to Bruce Wayne, that psychotic side that we don't see, that's just breaking beneath the surface. He does it very, very well. He's very dark, mysterious, everything that you want Batman to be. Is he the Batman from the comics? I don't know what the Batman from the comics is. When people say comic accurate, I think they're talking out of their fucking ass. It does not make sense. It's about the core of the character, and then it's the artist's interpretation of that character on top of that. So I don't know what comic accurate fucking means.
Don't play
Absolute
like you fucking
bullshit.
Tim. You don't get it. You get it.
I don't get it. I really don't. It's complete bullshit. You get the core of the character right, you're good with me. Whatever actor and whatever you get to present that is good enough. So
are you trying to say that the comic book accurate Joker doesn't mean shit?
How do you mean by that? I don't know what you mean by comic book accurate Joker. If the guy
you read the comic book, right?
So what you have to define that before you
read
like,
a comic
tell me
book,
what
right?
are the core characteristics.
Okay, first off, the Joker in the comic book was a Joker, but he was a psychopath, right? And Jack Nicholson played that. The Heath Ledger Joker didn't have that joking like type of joke kind of thing that Joker had in the comics. That's what I'm saying. So when you're talking about comic book accuracy, I'm saying on both sides where he portrays Joker as a psychopath and he plays him as the, you know, always making these little wisecracks or whatever, but dark kind of jokes.
He laughs, he makes jokes, he talks about fucking being chaotic.
High yellow gold tee wearing cock blocker skeezer grabbing block-headed punk motherfucker.
I can't talk to you guys. I don't know what. I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, so I
have a question for you, nerd man. Like, genuinely, if the core of the character of Batman is perfectly intact and they nail it, they nail Bruce Wayne, but he's half Minotaur, has huge tits, green hair, and wears lipstick, and has ashless chaps on,
and you don't have
would say he's a perfect Batman because he has
you haven't got you haven't got the core of the character.
Okay, so let me ask you this:
characteristics to the character. He's human.
Let me ask you this, man. How do you feel?
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
How do you feel about Batman killing?
Batman kills in these Keaton movies.
That's not what I asked you. That is not what I freaking asked you. I asked you, what do you think of Batman killing?
Okay, so here's what I think of Batman killing. I don't think you can get perfectly what everybody thinks of Batman. I don't think you can get that in one iteration of Batman. Just wait a second. There's going to be one person or two people or maybe a group of people are going to go, that's not my Batman because he's not enough of a detective. That's not my Batman because he's not enough of a fucking, I don't know, whatever, like, because he doesn't kill. That's not my Batman because he hasn't got a gray fucking suit on or a yellow fucking thing in the middle. Someone is going to say that. You can't get everything fucking perfect in your iteration. So the best you can do is try and get as many of those core characteristics in as you can that is realistic to your story, and then move on from there. If he kills in one, if it makes sense to your fucking story of Batman and you still keep the core character, most of the core characteristics, like he's a genius, his parents were killed, he's human, he has gadgets, he's got a Batmobile, you know, etc., then I can accept it. But if he kills in your film and it doesn't make sense to your story, that's where I have a fucking problem. And that's what happened in BVS. He killed and it didn't make sense. In the Keaton movies, it made sense to the story that was being told. So if that's what you're asking me, I don't care if Batman kills depending on the iteration and if it makes sense to the story.
So you didn't like the way he killed in Batman versus Superman, right?
No.
Wasn't comic book accurate, right? Wasn't due to the character, right?
It wasn't because it wasn't comic book accurate. It was because it didn't make sense to the story. Because if he was killing in this world, why isn't Joker dead? Why isn't fucking all of these other people dead? You know, it didn't make sense to building a universe of Batman. No, because Batman 89, he didn't. It was just a trilogy. He was just going to go from film to film to film. It didn't matter if he killed his villains. They weren't coming back anyway.
So what? They weren't coming back in these ones either. You
well,
know,
I think they were.
If they killed them off, then they were not coming back. I don't see the issue with that.
No, because he would go after the Joker and kill him in this universe. Why wouldn't he be dead?
The point is the Joker was more comic book accurate than Heath Ledger's Joker, regardless of what you want to say, right? There's a precedence, the way they draw or way they have Joker in the comic book, right? And when it comes to portraying that, it was Jack Nicholson that portrayed that. Who didn't go yet? Did FilmElitist go yet?
I've got it in good, by the way. The only reason I have it
average.
The only reason I have it in good is just because I don't think it ages as well. Some of the action is a bit like, you know, stilted and like some of the bits in the middle a little bit goofy for me.
Well, I have one more thing to say about Batman 89, Nerdman.
Yeah, go ahead.
About him killing. So in the movie, he blows up a warehouse, he kills a couple goons, like he will kill. He ends up, you know, accidentally or whatever killing Jack Napier in the end, and he's pretty okay with it. So if they've established that he will kill, he just found out that Jack Napier is the guy responsible for killing his parents, turning him into Batman. His journey is to come kill him now. And he comes up behind his back, pokes him on the back, and goes, "You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?" And then punches him. Why didn't he stab him in the back of the neck or shoot him in the back of the head or push him off the building? It was fucking ridiculous. That
he wanted to fight him. Why didn't Thanos just make all of the Avengers fucking
We're not talking about that.
when he had the reality turn?
Nope, not talking about that.
Why didn't he have that? Because he wanted to confront his parents' killer. Clearly, he wanted to confront his parents' killer.
First off, it's not even really to say like, you know, oh yeah, Andre, you said you wanted to come in, no problem if you want to pop in for a bit, not a problem. But how is that looking to a movie, right? And a movie in 1989, and you have Batman walking up to the Joker from behind his back and stabbing him in the back or pushing him off of the fuck. How is that gonna look in the movie, bro? You obviously know that they have heroes that they will not do. Even in today's movies, they will not have a hero do something like that.
No, I get why they did it. But in the movie, like I'm talking to Nerdman, he's saying in the context of 89, it makes sense that he kills. Well, it doesn't make sense that he comes and quips to Jack Nicholson before he fights.
Hey! By the way, one of the core characteristics of Batman is he's not a sadistic killer. He's not like the Punisher. Even if he would kill, he's not going to be. He's not going to be killing like
his murderer first.
He's not going to be killing like Ben Affleck was in fucking Batman v Superman. If that's what you mean,
him. He blows up people with his Batmobile.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Yes.
You mean the movie that's one?
He blows up a factory with his Batmobile in 89.
And Nerdman, but
I don't think there's anyone in that factory.
No, I watched it, dude.
Him not being a
I'm gonna look back at
killer,
that scene.
him not being a psychopathic killer is not core to his character, but as long as it's good for the story, does it matter, right?
No, I don't think that's just not the core of Batman's character. Like
Yes,
that's
but-
again.
But if it's done for the story, then it's okay, right? As long as it makes sense in the story, it's okay.
Right,
Well,
if
now
you
we're
want to
getting to
play,
the
if you want to play semantics, if
That's what
there's
you
a
said.
psychopathic
It's not
killer,
semantics. It's
if there's a psycho,
directly using your logic against you.
That's what you
no, it's
said.
not losing. It's not using my logic against me because I said you have to stick to the core of the character, the core
That's what he
characteristics,
just
and once
said.
you've done that,
Again,
thanks for
Nerdman
interrupting me.
You just hate
You're
Batman.
the biggest fucking hypocrite of all
He doesn't
time.
get
Like
it.
you
Guys,
go
Nerdman
on
just
about
doesn't
like
get Batman.
interrupting.
No, he doesn't because he's just
So
proving my point.
you're saying. So let me be clear on what you're saying. You're
And let
saying
him
if
finish,
he's a
guys. Let him
psychopathic
finish.
killer, you're saying if he's a psychopathic killer and it fits the story, right? Then that's okay. Like if it's if the story works
that's
with
what
a psycho.
you said.
No, I didn't.
You said Batman killing, you don't care as long as it fits the story. So if Batman
I
is a
don't
psychopath,
care. I don't care about him killing like not killing just like the Punisher kills. Like he just
Right.
comes in with a machine gun
Exactly.
and like.
Okay,
But I mean,
because hold on, let me finish.
If
Let
for
me finish.
instance, like he in the heat of a fight, he
I
doesn't
get
make
your
sure
point,
that
Nerd.
somebody lives or whatever. I don't give a shit about that.
Nerdman,
That's
I
not
get what
something
you're
that bothers
saying.
me.
I get what you're saying. I'm just trying to get the clarification, right? You said you don't care if Batman kills as long as it's a part of the story. So then you wouldn't care if Batman was a psychopathic killer and pushed Joker off of a roof if it was good for the story. You wouldn't care.
That's what I was saying. In '89, that would have made sense in the movie they presented because Nerdman, I watched it a couple
No,
months
it
ago.
wouldn't have been
Oh,
good
no,
for
no,
the
let me explain.
story.
In the
Wait a
movie,
second, it wouldn't have been good for the story.
here we go.
So, like,
Okay,
it
hold
would
on,
have been
hold on.
shit.
One at a time.
It would have been
One
a
at
shit
a time.
ending to the story.
No,
By the
Nerdman.
way, just
He goes-
to say, if he had done that, that would have been a shit
Let me
ending,
explain
right?
why.
man,
Like,
you
he
can't
should
just
go for
bully
it.
over people's points, dude.
Nerd
No,
man.
shut up,
Yeah.
elitist. I've had
One
enough
at a
of this
time.
bullshit.
One at a
I'm
time.
just,
Dude.
I want to make sure
Hey.
that you go from the premise.
I
Yeah,
wanna
you're
prove
saying
you
that
wrong.
it's good for the
You
story,
go on
right?
20-minute
It is
rant
not.
and don't let people
It's
respond,
not good
man.
for the story. As long as he accepts that's not good for the
Can I
story, then I
explain
can
why it
then
is?
sure.
I can prove that it
Let
was.
him finish. Go ahead.
Because in Batman '89, when he finds out that Napier killed his parents, he goes to the toxic warehouse factory, the chemical plant, Ace Chemicals, and he thinks Napier's going to be there, and he blows it up and murders dozens of his goons. Then he the next scene he's like, oh shit, he wasn't there, and he's like disappointed that he didn't kill Napier in that explosion. He went and
That didn't
sadistically
happen.
just watched the movie. I just watched it. He blows.
Yeah, I don't
house up.
remember that either.
I don't remember that fucking shit, man. That's not the reason he blows up that factory. I swear to God, that isn't the
Yeah.
reason. So I don't know.
Because he fights Napier in the factory, and that's when Napier gets pushed into the vat of acid and changes him white.
No, it's Anzo. It's after he remembers
He's
that
talking
Napier
about
killed his
after.
parents.
After that,
He goes back to Ace and blows it up, and then he looks. I forgot exactly what happens, but it's confirmed that he tried to kill Napier. So we can. Somebody can look.
How's
look
that
up the movie.
confirmed? How's that confirmed that he tried
I
to
can
kill
rewatch
Napier?
the movie
He
and tell
said
you.
that he tried to kill Napier
In the context of the
He
movie-
said that the reason he blew up that thing was
No, he didn't
that
look
he
in
was
the camera
trying
and
to
say,
kill
"Damn
Napier.
it, I missed Napier." But
Well,
in the
then that's
context
not
of the movie,
true.
It is.
And that's not true.
I'm just not going to
It's
pull
not
up the
true.
footage.
Pull up the footage. I want to see this moment where he blows up a factory, and he somehow magically suggests
I
that the
will
reason he's
go.
doing
I
that
will
is to
go
kill the
to my
Joker.
next one. I will go to my next one. We will move on from this. I put it in God tier. It'll stay in God tier. I am going to Batman Returns, and Batman Returns is actually going to go into God tier.
Yeah,
And it's actually
Well
going to
done.
go ahead of Batman and Justice League, right? Because this movie was basically an upgrade of the first one for me. I loved Danny DeVito as the Penguin. I loved Catwoman, like Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. Fire. She was on point. I liked the story in it, you know. it was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. It's been a while since I seen it, but I liked it. So it's God tier level for me. Now we are going to go first with Nerdman. Nerdman.
Yeah, this
Where
is
do
an
you
easy
put it?
one. This is an easy one. Iconic, great, an improvement, as you said, on the first one. It's like they let Burton actually make his own film rather than, like this mixed thing between like it being a toy commercial and Burton's dark aesthetic. They just let him make his own film. Danny DeVito's fantastic. Michelle Pfeiffer's fantastic. Keaton comes to play. I think the story is serviceable, but the thing mostly about it is those performances in there of the villains and the relationship between Batman and Catwoman, and it is great. What is this? Zack Snyder's Justice League?
Yeah, that was Zack Snyder's Justice League.
I think that Zack Snyder's Justice League is about on par with it.
Hey Becky, how you doing? Long time no see. Okay, so you put it on par, not better or worse.
Not better or worse. I think it's about on par. I like them equally, but I'd probably watch Batman Returns more just because it's shorter and it's
I was
got
wondering
funny
what the
bits.
hell you were saying, Andrea. All right, so next up, sorry about that, Nerdman. Next up, we're going to go to FilmElitist. What do you have it as? Let's see your screen. And be careful what you say.
You know what they're going to say.
All right, so let's go to his brother. Let's go to Pickle. Pickle, where you got it?
Okay, 1 second. So I was looking up that Batman scene.
I'm looking it up on HBO Max now.
No,
All right, your brother's back. Let's do your brother first. All right, Phil. Where do you have it?
Do you see it?
Yeah, we see your StreamYard.
It's in the.
You
okay? Hold
probably
on.
Yeah. Switch your tab. There you go.
All right, I just defeated Nerdman.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, we see it.
What is it?
I have it in the average category along with the first one. I think it's just a Tim Burton movie. It's not a Batman movie. Michelle Pfeiffer is good in this, but Danny DeVito, I think he does good for what he's doing, but his villain is ridiculous. Living in the sewers, eating children, or fucking killing the firstborn children. It's just a Tim Burton horror movie with Batman in it. It's not good to me.
Which is
it's
good.
Average.
Which is a good idea. That's what you do
it's like
with
saying,
these kind of things. All right, don't worry. Don't do anything. It's okay. Carry on. It's your turn.
Yeah. Go ahead,
nah,
Phil.
fuck it. No, go. It's all right. Let him have it.
No. Finish up. He already had his turn,
dude.
He already had his turn. All right, you're done. No problem. Pickle, you're up.
All right, I put it at bad. Well, let me explain, Onzo.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't fully and fairly rank this movie because I haven't seen it since I was a kid. But from what I've seen as an adult of it, I've seen clips of it, I've seen parts of it, I don't like it at all. I agree with Phil.
I'm too old for this shit.
Michelle Pfeiffer is cheesy as fuck. Danny DeVito is cheesy as fuck. Keaton's cheesy as fuck. Tim Burton is cheesy as fuck. Too dark, too weird. I hate Tim Burton movies. This is one of them.
Shut the fuck up.
But I will be fair. I need to watch it again fully.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you can't really judge it.
I'll put it in meh because it could be better than I think.
All right,
I
I'll
think
give you
you
that.
can't really judge it if you've seen it as a child and haven't watched it again. I just don't think
Yeah,
that's
but I've
even
seen parts. Everyone said Michelle Pfeiffer is so fucking good, and I looked up her scenes, and they fucking made me frown.
Really?
Yes.
No,
I don't care that she's hot. I don't care that she's seducing Batman. I don't give a fuck about Catwoman. Period. Maybe that's a part of it.
Maybe that is a part of it.
Right.
That's really a part of it.
I just don't like Tim Burton's sensibilities, and he even goes more Tim Burton-y in this movie.
FilmElitist, the reason I side at what you were saying is it's just I can't fathom how you can say, oh well, it's a horror movie with Batman in it, and it's this, that, and the other, and it's a very that's the whole point of having a creative fucking approach to these superheroes. What do you want? Like the same fucking Batman film over and over again? You don't want somebody to put their own fucking spin on it? It's like, that's a good thing that he made it into his own horror fairy tale bullshit thing. He made it his own rather than trying to do what the studio just wanted him to do. Don't you think? Or I think
there's no
Let him
honesty
respond.
left in responding to you, so I'm done doing it. Finally,
No.
I'm not even joking anymore, and I'm not mad.
I'm not mad either.
My brain is blown out of the back of my head, dude. With your shit, like you're an impossible person to have a discussion with when it's something that you're passionate about.
True. That's not even true, and that's not true. But anyway, I'm going to say this. I did interrupt you, and I was sorry for that. But it was just what you were saying to me it was patently like, I don't even understand what you're talking. It's a horror movie with Batman. Like, so doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Anyway,
all right. Well, FilmElitist.
Because the problem with that is,
hold on, Film. I will mute Nerdman so that you can say what you want to say. Okay.
All right, and it won't take long. The
Go
problem
ahead.
with it is that you need to make a movie that can reach all kinds of different people. When it's so Tim Burton-y, when it's so over the top, when it's such a fantastical horror version of the Penguin, and it's got this whole world to it. Like, yes, I can appreciate that you're bringing your vision to the table, but you're turning off half of the people that don't like that kind of film. That's my problem with it. And I don't like Tim Burton films, aside from the Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't like his style. I don't like anything about him. I don't want to see a Wes Anderson Iron Man. I don't want to see Wes Anderson direct Iron Man where there's a bunch of little tiny sets and popping colors. And I don't want to see David Finch. That's why I don't like Zack Snyder. It's like, I don't want to see your sucked out colors and your bullshit, dude. I want to see a movie that has a vision to it, but also has universality. And I don't think that's too much to ask for, man. I don't want to see Tim Burton's jerk off fantasy of what Batman is.
You done? Can I speak now?
No.
Yes, you can speak, and then I will go to my next one.
All right. Everything you said just now was I don't even know where to begin. You want a film with universality that meets a general audience or something like that, and appeases all of them. It's boring. It's a film to me that
It's not what I said.
has no life. I
said a universal element while still retaining
universal element. This movie does have a universal element. It's loved like by many people. So I don't know if this isn't universal for you, then whatever you're talking about is something I think sucked completely of any life or individuality just to appease masses, and I find that boring, vapid,
you are a
uninteresting
bullshit artist, dude.
Right, and I'm interrupting. I am interrupting. Okay.
All right, I'm not. I'm out of here, dude. I can't do this. I'm sorry, Anzo. This is pissing me off, dude.
All right.
It's really unfair, man.
What's
really
unfair,
dude?
Explain to me. What's unfair?
Don't do that.
20-minute monologues he goes on, and then he interrupts people. And it wasn't one time. It was every single time I talked. And then I interrupt you one time to clarify what you're mischaracterizing that I just said. And I'm a fucking interrupter.
Yeah, we all trying to have fun here, bro. You know what I mean? It's all about fun. Like,
yeah, well, it's not fun when it's
you take these things way too seriously. By the way, I have to say this, and I don't care. I don't appreciate.
Hold on
right now at the moment. Okay. This isn't a fucking serious thing. It's about comic book fucking movies, okay? And you get fucking. You did the same thing to Philosophical Pickle the other day. He was arguing about Dazed and Confused, and you wanted to fucking fly off the handle about that shit. It's bullshit, man. Just fucking calm down. It's a fucking film discussion. You're pissing me off as well, and I don't talk for fucking 20 minutes. We'll go back and watch the video and see where I've talked for fucking 20 minutes. It's fucking nonsense.
Okay, so first off, both just chill, all right?
Wow.
We are here to have fun. That's all it is. We
I
shouldn't
am.
be
I'm
taking
too
this shit.
tired though.
We,
Sorry.
we shouldn't be taking this shit personally. You know what I mean? It's all about just having fun. I get it. There's some interruptions going on, but that is Nerd Man. That's what he does. He talks his shit. You know, no, it's facts. He talks his shit. He interrupts whatever. But at the end of the day, like we can't take it that seriously.
Can I
It's
just say one
fucking
thing on
comic book movies. Yeah, go ahead, man.
because it should be fun, and it's not about his opinion. I don't care what his opinion is. That's why I know that I'm not in the wrong here. It's about a respect thing, dude. I know I interrupt you sometimes. I get frustrated, whatever, but I always try to show you respect. I don't think you realize how much you interrupt people and bully them with your arguments. I'm just being honest.
I don't think I do.
Man. No one's
I
a
really
perfect
don't
person.
think I do.
I'm not perfect, and if you see something that I'm doing that
I
you don't like,
don't
you're welcome to point it out.
bully.
Let him finish.
I
Let him
don't-
finish.
I don't bully people. No, but I'm not going to be mischaracterized like this.
Right,
I've
I
watched
understand.
videos.
No, hold on.
I've watched videos of me. To be honest, I'll be fair to you. Today, I have probably interrupted more than I usually do, and that is fucking true. I have interrupted you, but that was not. It wasn't done in malice or bullying or anything like that. I just was like tired more than anything.
And Nerdman, hold on. Let me say this. I'll say this first. All right. I understand you don't want to have him say you're a bully. That's fine. But at least let him finish what he's saying. And then I will give you a chance to talk. I will give everybody the chance to talk. That's all I'm saying. Right now, let's just squash this shit and move on and have some fun.
It's nothing. It's nothing personal.
It'll be squashed when Pickle says something.
When I say bully, I don't mean like you're a bully, like you're trying to hurt people or that you're being mean. I just mean that you bulldoze over people. That's your argument style. You know, sometimes
it's not my argument style. It's just maybe you don't like what I'm saying, and therefore you listen to it more, because a lot more people on this platform talk and do monologues much more than I do, and you don't say anything to them, maybe because you like what they're saying as opposed to what I'm saying.
I know what you're alluding to, and that person and you are very similar.
And I will just say this: we are going to move on now. We're going to chill. We'll have some fun. That's it.
Can I say one thing, Anzo? Before we move on, I will say, FilmElitist, come on, dude. Like, it isn't that serious, but I understand where he's coming from, because I have witnessed a few streams in a row where people talk over FilmElitist because he speaks very softly. He has been interrupted a lot lately. I think that's what's happening right now. But yeah, dude, don't fucking leave. Come on.
That's true. That's true. And I literally always say, can you listen to FilmElitist? I always actually say that. Nobody does that. When everyone's speaking over you, I'm like, oh wait, like let's hear what FilmElitist has to say. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
It's all good. This is Anzo's channel.
But
I'm sorry.
I've squashed it already. I just don't like to be
I'm apologizing to Anzo.
No, hold on, Film. You have no reason to apologize to me. You did nothing wrong. All right. I understand sometimes these things get heated and shit, but we say our piece and then we have fun. You know what I mean?
It's all good. There's no personal shit with me at all. I had somebody do this to me on another stream, and I just it's only about a respect thing for me. I'll try to be respectful of other people.
Dude, FilmElitist, I love talking to you. I love you. Like honestly, it's not this wasn't like me being pissed off with you. It's just how I talk. If somebody comes at me, I come back at them. It's that simple. But it's purely like,
what's next?
It's
all good, man. It's all good. You know what? I love you too, bro. It's all
good. We got kumbayas. Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
I do have a breaking point. Is all I'm saying. That's all I
was interrupting.
Sorry,
I'll be honest. I was interrupting you, but I don't always do that, and I am sorry for that.
Okay, it's all good. I'm sorry too.
Now, can we kiss and make up? Like you guys can kiss.
Only if it's tongues. Anyway, let's go.
All right. So, okay, I did. Batman. Who didn't do you guys? None of you guys did your Batmans, right? Batman Forever. Did you guys?
We did Batman Forever.
Okay, we all did it. Okay.
Yeah.
So No, we did Batman. Yeah, Batman.
We did
Forever.
Return.
Yeah,
No,
we've all
Batman
done it.
Returns.
We've
Sorry,
done Batman
Returns.
Returns and Batman
Batman
1,
Returns.
so we're
Okay.
on to the Nolan movies. Now me and Enzo
No,
are going to get into a
no.
massive fight.
Hold on. First, we have Batman Forever,
Mm.
and Batman Forever is going to go into the trash bin for me as well.
Oh,
I haven't seen them in a long time, so it's hard for me to decide which. I am gonna put it better than Batman and Robin, and only reason is because I did like Jim Carrey in that movie. But make no mistake, it is a piece of trash movie, so it'll go in the trash bin. And I am going to go with FilmElitist first on this one. Where do you put Batman Forever, brother?
Okay, Batman Forever. Let's see. Share my screen real quick.
Yep.
All right.
Gotcha. Switch your tab.
Is it working?
Yes,
see?
but just switch. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, hold on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I have it Batman Forever. I have it as a failure. I think I actually agree with Nerdman that Val Kilmer is not that bad as Batman. Of the three first Batmans that we got, I think he was the best one. I just don't think he really had an opportunity to show it. But the movie overall is bad. The Riddler is bad. Two-Face is bad. Robin is goofy. Potato Head. Yeah, it's not a good movie.
Absolutely not. I agree
That's all
with
I
you
got.
on the Robin. I agree with you on the Robin shit. And you're lucky I'm going through the chats, because for you saying that Val Kilmer was the best Batman, I think you should have got a Phantom Zone for that. But you get a pass on this one from me. I'm gonna go with Pickle next. Pickle, I don't mind Phantom Zoning, eh? So be careful what you put on this one. Okay, you're good.
Pickle, are you there?
Yeah, we can't hear you. You might be
I'm
muted.
sorry.
okay.
Yeah, it's going to be in Gal. No, what is it? The Martha category. It's terrible. Everything that he said, I'll echo. The only redeeming thing is Val Kilmer is not terrible, but I'm going to take my time. I'm going to rank it there, but I'm going to take my speaking time on this one to say, Nerdman, I looked up the scene in Batman 89. He drops a bomb in between a goon's legs, blows up the warehouse, murdering dozens of goons. He comes out of the warehouse. Jack Napier comes on a helicopter and goes, "Ha ha ha! You missed me, Bats!" saying that he was trying to murder him.
All
Therefore,
right.
it doesn't make any sense. The movie is bad.
You see,
Maybe I don't see why he was trying to like. That doesn't mean he. I don't really get it. I don't know. I have to watch the scene. I can't.
In the movie, he's watching an interview of Jack Napier on TV. He's like seething in anger. He suits up, and then it just cuts to him driving, blowing up the warehouse. Yeah. He comes out.
With all the goons.
Napier says, "You missed me," and he's like looking at him like, "I hate you, motherfucker! Like I can't believe I missed." It's implied he's going to kill him.
If Batman does that in that scene, which I don't really know, I didn't notice. Like it didn't seem like they were all dying or they didn't have time to escape or something like that. But if he did that, and they're all murdered, then I don't think that's the core of Batman's character.
Well,
I don't think
that's my opinion on Batman Forever.
Okay, no problem. I don't necessarily agree with it either. But Batman Forever, where you put it, I'm fine with that. Absolutely,
yeah, it's really bad.
It's a bad movie. Nerdman, you are up next. Oh, did he just leave?
He probably accidentally.
Yeah, he disconnected. We'll wait.
That Czech Republic internet.
Facts. All right, Nerdman, there you go.
So Blasted is in front of me. Batman Forever is just bad. Wait, where did I put? What's this one? Oh yeah, that's Justice League. Batman Forever is just bad. It has redeeming features, namely Val Kilmer, and that's about it. Tommy Lee Jones is fucking awful.
Jim Carrey was okay.
People say Jim Carrey. They rep for Jim Carrey in this movie, and look, he's not. It's one of the worst Jim Carrey movies, and I do like Jim Carrey. But if you're judging it on like, oh, he's just being Jim Carrey, this is one where he's the most annoying as Jim Carrey. But certainly the fact that what's his name is doing Two-Face even worse than him does make his performance look a little bit better. But yeah, Val Kilmer's good, and then there's that Seal song. So Kiss from a Rose is tight. So I'll give it that.
All right. Well, we all think the movie's basically trash. So yeah, that's fine. No phantom zones for any of you guys on this one. So that's good. But now we get into the meat and potatoes. Now, this is the reason, well, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this. And I am going to start off with Batman Begins. And I'm going to start off by saying, I remember hearing about it, then the trailer came out. And I was like, oh, yes, new Batman movie. Okay, let's watch this trailer. And I'm like, oh, shit, this is fire. Holy shit, okay, this looks good. And then they show the end scene where he's hanging from, like, not the warehouse, but like one of them fucking shipyards, and the canister pops up and he's like, I'm Batman. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, okay, what the fuck is up with his voice? Like, all right, no problem. Trailer looks good. Go see this movie. Went and seen this movie. It was boring. Christian Bale was bad as Bruce Wayne, and his Batman voice just threw me out of that movie. Like, I just could not take it. I thought, everybody clamors about Ra's al Ghul in that movie, and I was like, yeah, it's Liam Neeson, but meh. So I will put this one, Batman Begins, in I wouldn't wipe my ass with this shit. Not at all.
I really think you've got to watch this movie again. One more time.
Not wipe
I want to do a what's it called? Watch along party with Batman Begins, because I think this is arguably the best one out of all of the trilogy. I think if you said to me like The Dark Knight is overrated, I understand that a little bit more than Batman Begins. And the voice you're talking about, he doesn't get so bad until the next movie. I think you're projecting what he did in the later movies onto this movie. It's not as bad in this.
Nope, because I remember my reaction when I seen the trailer. I was like, yo, this is a hot piece of fucking doodle, his voice. And then when I watched the movie, it was just even worse. I was like, oh my God, no, I cannot take this. And I kept saying, why the fuck is he talking like that? Like, oh my God, like this is fucking annoying. I could not take it. So I wouldn't wipe my ass with this piece
Fair
of shit.
enough. Do you like his performance before he becomes Batman?
No, I just said I didn't think he was a great Bruce Wayne. I like, it was just boring to me. I did not like this movie at all. Nolan and his fucking fuckery fucked up Batman. Next up,
interesting.
we going with who went first last time? Film did, right? All right, so we'll go with Nerdman's take on this one. Nerdman.
It's a masterclass in filmmaking. I think as an origin story, the way that he uses the theme of the film to be the thing that connects all of the characters, i.e. fear. It's Bruce's whole journey. It's what Ra's al Ghul is going to use to take the city down. It's what Scarecrow uses against his victims. Everything is unified by this one central theme. And I think that's excellent. That's something that they rarely do in superhero movies, and it's a good way to tell a story. I think this one is actually more of a graphic novel come to life than the Dark Knight, because Gotham actually looks like it's, like something out of Nolan's imagination in this one, with the Narrows and stuff like that. So I really like that visual element of the film. I think this is bar none the best performance of Batman we've ever seen in Bale. Great villains. Ra's al Ghul was really good.
Never watch again. Leave it there. That's where it belongs. Never watch again. You should have left it there.
Scarecrow. I'm going to put this ahead of Zack Snyder's Justice League and Batman Returns. I think it's fantastic.
And just to let you know, I ain't gonna be phantom zoning anybody because I know
And
when
look,
it comes to what.
Sorry, no, I'm just saying.
Oh.
Look. This is my little gesture of peace to
Oh,
FilmElitist.
you're so
Look how
sweet.
sweet.
So I will say this: I'm not phantom zoning anybody for this one because I personally know that I am probably in the minority when it comes to talking about these Nolan movies. So I won't phantom zone you guys on this one. You're good. Next up, Film. I want to hear your opinion, brother.
All right, so sharing this real quick. So yeah, if you can see it,
yep, we
I
got
have it in the great category. I don't quite put it in masterpiece. I know Nerdman disagrees with me a little bit there. I think the Scarecrow, even though I like Cillian Murphy, he's a good actor. I don't think he's really that awesome in this. You know, he's not bad, but he's not amazing. I don't think Katie Holmes is as good as the second Rachel that we got. I know Nerdman also disagrees with that, but yeah, there's just a couple of little things, but I mean, it's damn close, man. It's damn close. The origin stuff is fantastic. The stuff with the League of Shadows is awesome. Really seeing how his parents' death affected him. His relationship with Alfred is the best I've ever seen it in any of the movies. Michael Caine is awesome. Morgan Freeman as Lucius Fox is fantastic. And I really like the action. I really like the scene where he's telling everyone to get out of the house and he's being like a dick about it. You know, that seems like Bruce Wayne to me. And just that whole ending sequence is pretty cool with them fighting on the train and the house burning down and stuff. And yeah, man, this was the beginning of the best trilogy of any comic book film, in my opinion.
You're lucky I said I wasn't going to phantom zone anybody, you know. All right, Pico.
Yeah, I'm going to echo that exactly. This movie is great. It's not quite the creme de la creme. It's not like a masterpiece like Nerdman says, but
wow,
the origin with him wanting to kill Joe Chill and he has the gun. And it's like, I wanted to kill him my whole life and now I can't. Him throwing the gun in the lake, talking to Falcone, going to the League of Shadows, having to climb up the mountain, training with Ra's al Ghul. Him telling him, one of my favorite lines in the movie is when he's like, empathy is something that you and the criminals don't share. And he's like, that's why it's so important. Like, that is Batman.
Yeah.
He will not kill that man. And he destroys the League of Shadows to not kill somebody. The way that they implement his suit, how he gets his suit, the realistic way, like he puts stuff in his suit, Nerdman, the way he puts stuff in his suit. The fighting, the choreography, the action is very weak. The Batmobile's kind of weird looking. Scarecrow's good, not great. Ra's al Ghul's really good, not quite great. But as a whole, the writing, the directing, the cinematography, the way the movie flows, you talk about the core of the character, this is Batman. This movie is great.
Yeah, but he's not a detective and he's not a genius. So how's that the core?
No.
Hey, but if it's
there you go. There you go.
But Nerdman, if it's good for the story, who cares?
Hey.
Right?
No, I agree. I agree with him. It represents a core of the character. They pulled on certain traits and certain things. You know, you can't fit everything that they claim Batman is into one fucking movie. I don't think it's possible. But you know, maybe someone will do it one day.
That's why I think we'll talk about the Dark Knight. Has all of it.
I don't think the Dark Knight has all of it either. I mean, he's still not a genius. He's still not a detective.
What are you talking about?
All right.
He's not a genius in the Dark Knight, is he?
Smarter than fucking your little fucking dipshit sweater vest wearing fucking Uncle Batman, Michael Keaton.
Oh,
come
hell
on.
no.
Probably.
Hell no.
No, Michael Keaton did
hold on. No, hell to the fucking no, Pickle, because Batman in the fucking Michael Keaton one, in the first one, he was the one who figured out how fucking Jack was turning everybody into jokers, and then he made a fix for it. So detective and genius to fix it. So
He did it off screen though, so I didn't really see him be smart.
He did it though.
Right. No,
he did it though.
He did it.
Yeah. But Napier
he was the one that came up with
TV,
the chemicals.
But he announced on TV that he was poisoning people. So He didn't even figure that out. It was just told to him. Then he just figured out how he was doing it.
No,
Right,
it was how he was doing it with the
Yeah, he figured out how he
combinations,
was doing it,
and then he came up with the
detective work.
antidote.
Right.
Whereas Morgan Freeman came up with all of what's his name's antidotes and shit. So
facts. So now,
but I like it. But I was gonna say about the thing with the thief. What I always found funny about that scene is he still leaves him to die, essentially, because he never like cuts the rope so he can actually escape.
yeah,
I always thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
so now we get
The murderer guy, I mean.
We get into The Dark Knight, part 2 of the Nolan trilogy. And I will honestly say that I cannot put this one in wouldn't wipe my ass with this shit category, even though I want to, because it has Heath Ledger's Joker in it. And Heath Ledger's Joker is the only thing that keeps me to watch that movie over and over again. I love the way he played the Joker. I said earlier, I don't think he's comic book accurate Joker, at least from the comic books that I was reading when I grew up, but his performance was absolutely amazing. But if you take him out of that movie, then I would put him in wouldn't wipe my ass with this shit, because like Nerdman said earlier, Christian Bale's voice gets so much worse, right? Second off, like he said again, Lucius Fox is the one that creates the fucking thing and this and that, and he gets all of it from Lucius Fox. The Tumbler is the fucking worst Batmobile I have ever seen. The saving grace for that is when it breaks apart and that motorcycle comes out. I like that. But other than those things in that movie, Two-Face, he was okay. But at the end of the day, I say the end has a big issue in it, because you could have just said it was the fucking Joker that killed Two-Face. You could have said that. So at the end of the day, I think that's a big issue with the movie, but I do put it in good because of the performances from Heath Ledger. Next up, we will go with Pickle. Dark Knight.
Yes. Dark Knight is, let me scroll up. It is absolutely the creme de la creme of comic book movies.
Correct answer.
It is simply
Absolutely not.
phenomenal. This movie changed my life. The way I looked at movies, the way that comic book movies, I didn't even know that comic book movies could be this good, this deep, this rich in character until this movie came out. This changed the way comic book movies were looked at and seen and viewed by the public. You had people that had never even watched any of these movies talking about Heath Ledger's Joker in Walmart just to each other, that you would never think would even talk about this movie. Dude, what can I say about this movie that no one's ever said before? Heath Ledger is phenomenal. Batman's phenomenal. Lucius Fox is phenomenal. Michael Caine, the whole Harvey Dent story with him turning Harvey, the White Knight, into the Dark Knight, and the Dark Knight having to kill him in the end. Tonight, you're going to have to break your one rule. I like that he has to kill Two-Face, because Joker was right. He had to break his one rule. The interrogation scene,
Jedi?
Every fucking scene that Heath Ledger is in, he challenges Batman. He's better than Batman. This movie, there's nothing I can say. I've said so much about this movie before that I'm just gonna say it's incredible. It's my second favorite movie of all time. This movie, everything you want in a comic book movie or just in film in general, this movie has it. It's not flawless, but the things that are good in it are so good that I can forgive the lack of action. I can forgive some of the cheesy dialogue, some of the inconsistencies in the plots, some of the conveniences, because, dude, this movie is phenomenal. It's a masterpiece.
Whoa. All right.
Of the comic book genre.
Since your brother said it's in the correct answer, I'm going to let him go first. FilmElitist, or next, I should say. Share your screen and let's see where you put this fucking mediocre, overrated movie.
All you've got is the voice. All you've got is that Bale's voice is shit. That's all you've got. And
there's
maybe
a lot
the
more.
Tumbler doesn't look like how
Can
you
you see
want
it?
it.
More. Yeah, we got it.
All right, so I also made a peace offering. This is going to be the Nerdman / MCU category.
Okay.
But yeah, no, this is a masterpiece, dude. I disagree with Pickle that it just as a comic book film, it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece in general. You can take the clown makeup off of Joker and take Bale out of the Batman suit, rename them something else, and this movie still fucking works, dude. From beginning to end, the entrance scene of the Joker, probably the best entrance of a villain ever that I've ever seen. His performance was flawless. Epic, Oscar worthy, Oscar winning. Bale's Batman is challenged on every level, similar to how in Spider-Man 2 Peter Parker is challenged so much, and that's what makes that movie so great, that he has to rise above those challenges. Batman's morality is challenged by somebody that he doesn't understand. The interactions we get with Alfred, where he's kind of explaining to Batman, like, hey, you don't really understand this guy, like you're looking at criminals too one-dimensionally. This guy just wants to watch the world burn. But even then, the Joker is a liar, dude. Everything he says, from like his origin, all the different stories he gives, the fact that he tells Harvey Dent that he wants him to kill him, but he has his hand on the part of the gun that if he pulled the trigger, it would stop it. When he says he just wants to see everything burn, he's lying. He wants to see Batman reduced to what he is. That's what he really wants. And every step along the way, he's lying about what he really wants to people. But he says he doesn't have a plan. He has a plan. And like Pickle said, if you really pay attention to the movie, he says you're going to have to break your one rule. You know, he played that ace card with Harvey Dent, and he turned that man, you know, into a villain, and he turned him into what he needed him to become to challenge Batman. And then Batman ends up having to kill him to save Gordon's family. Gordon's performance, Morgan Freeman's performance, Gary Oldman, Michael Caine, top to bottom, dude. The way this was shot, the action sequences, the stuff in the subway with the rocket launcher, just all of it, man. The dinner scene, it's all memorable, quotable, beautiful, cinematic. This movie also changed my life, and I think it's the best comic book movie ever made.
Wow.
See, this is where I'm just going to have to start agreeing with Onzo here, man. I swear to God.
Yes, thank you. Go ahead. Let me hear what you got to say.
What, you believe that bullshit? What are you talking about? This is a fucking masterpiece, man.
Oh, also, can I say one more? Hey, man, is it okay if I say one more thing?
Yeah, go for it, man.
My favorite part of this movie, and I don't think a lot of people notice this, is the ending. Not just that monologue that Gary Oldman gives about the Dark Knight, but what Batman has to do, because it's really quick, but he has to lie to the people of Gotham because he fucking lost. Batman lost, dude. I don't think enough people realize that. Like, that's not something you see in superhero films that often. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, but they could have blamed Big Joker for the death of Harvey Dent, and
that's true.
Batman would have got away with it. They could have done that. Like, people always say, well, no, because Joker was locked up or whatever, but they don't know when he was killed. So they could have just said, hey, we got on the scene and fucking he was dead. They didn't.
That's actually not true, because they know when the cops were called to that scene of that crime and the Joker was hanging up there and he was already detained.
Yeah, but they could have said
they could have blamed someone else. Yeah,
they
could have blamed
someone. He could have did it
fair.
before that scene. He
That's
said
fair.
he could have did it before.
I think it's a flaw, but it's worth that speech by Gary Oldman. I don't really care.
Hey, listen.
The problem with that scene for me is that they didn't use it properly in the next film. That's for me what pisses me off about that. You know, they build it up. The Batman's on the run now. This is gonna, you know, all the cops are against him, everything like that. And then, like, the next movie, it's like 8 years later, and he's a hermit, and you know, he hasn't come out for 8 years. So yeah, that part of it like bothers me. But the Dark Knight. I agree with a lot of what they're saying. I do think it's a masterpiece, but I don't know. Like, I'd quite deify it as much as Pickle and Elitist just have. To me, you know, Pickle mentioned that this is deep. Do you actually believe that, or was that just said in a moment of, you know, Because I know you didn't mention it again, so maybe it's not a big part of the film for you. You think this film is deep or not?
Yes.
Oh, you think it's deep. See, that for me is interesting because I think Batman v Superman is just as, if not more deep than this movie. In terms of
Eat a
the
donkey's
themes
whole
and
ass.
is it a better made movie, or like overall, does it use its themes and what's deep about it in a kind as meaningful a way as The Dark Knight? Absolutely not. But it's not as done as well. But I would say in terms of the actual themes and what's explored in Batman v Superman, not very deep itself, but certainly deeper than The Dark Knight. All right, just to say about this film, why I'll put it behind Batman Begins. I think it's a more flawed film. I think the fact that they recast Katie Holmes doesn't help it, because the emotional core of the movie, her dying, doesn't really track when you've got another actress playing like some odd version of Catwoman instead of the character that was established in the first movie. I didn't like that. Her, being all sassy and being okay with her boyfriend, potentially being killed, didn't track from the character I saw in the first movie. So I thought that was a big flaw in the movie. I didn't think Harvey Dent was very compelling. I hated his Two-Face. I thought his Two-Face was pretty much terrible by the end of it. And to have one of the biggest villains just, kill a couple of people and die by the end, not great. They should have maybe saved him for a sequel or something like that. And I don't think the actor they chose was the best at it either. I agree with Onzo in this sense that the Joker is really what fucking saves this movie. He's so fantastic though that I'm not gonna downplay just how good the Joker and his storyline, not just the Joker, but his storyline, his presence throughout this movie, how great it makes the movie. He is bar none the best superhero villain in film history. To go up against a superhero. And to have the tension, the back and forth, the chess match between the two of them. This is the absolute best version of that we have ever had in a movie. So in terms of that, that's why I find this movie so fantastic. Batman Begins, on the other hand, why I put it above Dark Knight is Batman Begins is the best psychological exploration for why a superhero has become a superhero of any movie. And I like that more. Plus, it's got good villains. Plus, it's got great cinematography. It's a watch on that. But there are a lot of flaws in The Dark Knight. But that performance plus how the Joker plays into the whole movie holds it up so high that I can forgive a lot of the mistakes around it. And
Care
it
if I add one thing to that?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Two-Face.
Yeah.
I think this movie, more than any comic book movie I've ever seen, exemplifies what a hero is. That's one of the things that I love about it. Like, Batman doesn't have Superman and Wonder Woman, the Justice League. He doesn't have anyone other than normal people like Commissioner Gordon and, Alfred helping him. Rachel, he and Harvey Dent, that's what he sees in Harvey Dent, is like this man that's the symbol of like, oh, okay, a normal person that can be the hero for the people. But in the end, Batman has to become the Dark Knight. He has to become the symbol, the hero. He is on a one-man mission to save that city, dude. That score in that movie and that theme of him being on this one-man mission, it's just so I don't care, man. Maybe it is like the comic booky, the way I looked at superheroes when I was a kid or whatever, part of me coming out, but I think they fucking nailed that, dude. He is on a one-man mission.
I think the reason that you appreciate it is probably because of the utilitarian philosophy of Batman. I think that you, from what I know, you're like a kind of rationalist, and I think he is as well. Because I don't think he epitomizes what it is to be a superhero at all. I mean, he lies, he uses methods that are more villainous to get the job done. When I say utilitarian, I mean by that whatever creates the greater good is, you essentially you can use people as a means to do whatever is the greater good, right? So like the good example is if you've got to kill a little girl to save a school full of children, right? Would you do that? Like that's the kind of philosophy I think Batman has. It's like, yeah, in the calculation, the greater good is the school full of children, save them. So you have to kill the little girl. Like someone like Superman or Wonder Woman wouldn't do that. Like they just wouldn't. You just can't like choose between the two. And I think that's, to me, I need to talk to you about this in private because otherwise it's going to go into a thing.
I think we love it so much because it came out when we were teenagers and it was the perfect time. We were developing into adults and it just shaped us in our cinematic journey so much that hit us in the right, like the MCU came out when I was 12, perfect time to get me.
But also, just a real quick to Nerdman's point, if that's okay, Anzo, if we have time.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think that's part of it, but I also think that is heroic. It is heroic to know, like, I have to make sacrifices in my own life, and sometimes with things that I don't morally want to sacrifice, but I have to do them for the greater good. Like, Batman is willing to become something that other people aren't to do what's necessary to save his city. Even if that means killing himself, dying in the battle, or like that part with
lying to the public, or lying to the public,
or spying on them with the phone thing. But like in the end too, you get that redemption of him saying like, hey, sometimes people deserve to have their faith rewarded, even though I kind of lost and had to do morally repugnant shit to even win. And I didn't really win. I had to lie to the people. I want them to have that because they need that hope. That message of hope is what's so beautiful about that movie.
Well, it's a message of hope, but it's couched in. It's something we should talk about in private because I don't want to derail this. But like, it's couched in that utilitarian kind of politics, utilitarian moral thought, which I have a problem with. And I think Superman's and Wonder Woman's are much more heroic to me because they would never compromise in the way that Batman does. They would never do that like spy thing with the mobile phones and shit.
But anyway. for me to just give one for Batman is these two you're talking about have super powers, right? They can do certain things that Batman just can't do. So it would have to be a choice for Batman, whereas Superman can travel faster than or as fast as the Flash and get to two places at once, or not at once, but you know what I mean. Quick.
True.
So.
I think it's funny. I think it's funny that we live in a time, and I respect everybody's opinion. I don't think that there's one opinion that's better than the other. But you can use some metrics like box office, critical acclaim, awards, etc., to compile all those things and say like there's a consensus about certain movies. And it's funny to me that there's so many people that are like, oh no, I hate the fucking Heath Ledger Joker, or I think Bale's Batman's garbage, or the Dark Knight's overrated. Like, I think it's fine to not like the movie, but I don't know. I think it's weird. I think a lot of the people that do it are just trying to be edgy. I'm not saying you, Anzo. I don't think you think that at all.
He basically just said you're trying to be edgy.
No.
I think Phantom Zone is us, man.
I think Anzo's reasons were like, it doesn't seem like Batman to him. But I think a lot of people just say like, oh, that fucking sucks because they want to like prop up something else that they like. You know what I mean? And I guess everybody does that, but I don't know, man. I just don't see how you can say this is a bad
That's
movie.
why I do it. That's
fine.
I'm just like an edgy punk rocker who just wants to hate the MCU.
That is 100% fine, right? You know what I mean? Sometimes I see movies where people are like, that movie is trash. I'm like, how the fuck do you say that movie is trash? That movie is fire. You know what I mean? It's all about what people like and stuff and how people see it. Yeah. I'm not one of those ones who are going to trash the movie to be edgy, or it's like,
I know that.
Trash this movie
I definitely am. Don't.
I was just surprised by the amount of people in the comments that were saying they didn't like this.
There's a few people that say that.
Who said they didn't like it?
Nufa Rufus said he right here. I'm sorry, Heath Ledger's Joker stunk to me. Dude never smiled with his teeth. All he did was lick his lips and smack like a frog. Right.
Mr.
So
Rufus, I want you as a co-host for my new show.
I get it, man.
I
Some
like this guy.
Some people think that way, you know what I mean? It is what it is. I thought his Joker was on point, right? I really did. It was what kept me into the movie. Without it, I would have put it, wouldn't wipe my ass with this shit, because now we are going to get to The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh god.
Oh, here we go.
I'm gonna, like,
I
piss
think this is
everybody
going to
off
be
on this
all across the board.
So I am wondering if you guys can guess where I am putting The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, I can guess.
Wouldn't wipe my ass.
You wouldn't wipe your
God
ass with
level?
it because it's
God
not as
level?
good as Batman Begins.
Huh?
God level. God level.
You wish.
No.
It is going into, hold on, let me put it this way. There you go. It is going into, I would not wipe my ass with this piece of garbage, caca shit that they want to call a superhero movie. This movie really pissed me off because Batman's voice again threw me out, right? Then you get the Bane fight, and I didn't like Bane either. That's not Bane from what I know. I know they're trying to be realistic, but to me, I didn't like him. I seen it in the theater, and it was so hard for me to understand everything he was fucking saying. Like, it's only when I watched it again on home, you could hear it more clearly. But in the theater, his accent and his voice and muffled with that mask, it just did not work for me at all. All right. Then we got the Batman fight scene, and he's fighting Bane, and I was like, you know what? I want to watch this fight scene again. Batman does not fucking touch him barely in that fight scene, like does nothing. Bane is wrecking his ass, breaks Batman's back, throws him down a hole, right? Now, Batman, and I've seen, like, you could watch videos, and I know, again, real life, movie, whatever, can't compare, but Batman fixes back, he does 2-3 push-ups, some sit-ups, he gets out, and all of a sudden now he is whooping Bane's ass. Like, that second fight, Bane didn't even really do shit to him. And I'm just like, what a fucking contrast. At least let the fight fucking
hate that fight.
I'm like, at least let the fight go back and forth, right? Because we already established how powerful fucking Bane was. I get it. The hero is supposed to come back and win in these movies, but you needed to make that fight a little bit more compelling. And then it wasn't the fact. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say one thing, like, just in between, because you're nailing it. You're fucking nailing it. And the thing that pisses me off, doesn't it piss you? It's more of a question. Why is Batman fighting him in this way? He's got all these fucking weapons, right?
No gadgets.
Why would he fight him one-on-one in this street fight for some reason? I'm just like, what are you doing? That's why I hate Bane. I hate Bane as a fucking character in general. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, I hate him. I hate him too, because how does he end up beating Bane? He pulls the fucking thing out of his mask, and it was like so underwhelming. But I get it why they did that, because you wanted to have that big reveal of Ra's al Ghul's daughter, and she was the one that actually got out. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm sorry, but I seen what Batman had to go to get out of this thing. I don't buy that you actually did that. You know what I mean? I just don't buy it. So yeah, this movie, I wouldn't wipe my ass with this piece of shit. And this is the one Nolan movie. I only seen Batman Begins once. I promised her, man, I would watch it again. But this is the one movie that I will never watch this one again. I cannot watch that movie again. So let's go with FilmElitist first on this one. FilmElitist.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna dunk on me. You're gonna be really mad about this. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people disagree with me on this one. This is one of my hottest takes.
All right, let's hear it. I said no Phantom Zones for this, so you're lucky. You got it. Whatever you want to say, you're good.
I put it in the great category. Let me explain.
You had it. You have to switch back. You had it, but you switched.
I think there are okay. Good?
Yeah,
got it?
Good.
Okay. Yeah, so there's problems with this movie, right? when he gets out of the Lazarus pit and he's got to go back to Gotham. Like, how the fuck does he get there? The city was on lockdown. That doesn't make sense. Why doesn't he fight Bane with gadgets? I understand what you're saying. Although with that part, I would say that Bruce wanted to die at that point. He kind of pretty much told Alfred that, like he was on a suicide mission, because he felt like he had failed in the last movie and he was just ready to be done because Rachel was gone and he had nothing left to live for. But there's a lot of problems with this movie, man. Catwoman's kind of weak. You know, there's just some weird stuff going on. There's more plot holes than usual in a Nolan film. There's a lot of bad stuff. But I like Bane. I think he's one of my favorite comic book villains because I don't care when they change stuff from the comics if it works. Now, I get that he was race swapped. I think it could have been cool with a Central American guy. But I think Tom Hardy brought a lot to this performance. I think I like the British voice, man. I think it's different. I think it's interesting. I think he's got a lot of quotable lines. I think he was compelling as like a brute in this movie. I like the scene where he breaks his back. I like the whole dialogue they have going back and forth. And what makes this movie work for me is the completion of the arc. Bruce Wayne / Batman is on this 3-movie arc where he loses his parents, then he loses Rachel, and then he gets, him having his back broken and thrown down that well was a metaphor for like him having to rise up above and be a hero. I know it's kind of silly to some people or whatever, but to me, again, that's what comic books are at their best, man, is like this regular guy just looking inside of himself, remembering what happened when he fell down that well, remembering his parents dying, Rachel dying, and thinking, I still have to save my city. I can't fucking give up. Now, it doesn't make sense how he healed his back so fast, right? That's kind of stupid. But just seeing him go through that and the fire rises and not using the rope and jumping to get out of there, and then he comes back to stop Bane. I love it, man. And I love the ending, too. It's very satisfying. And I just think Bane is awesome. I think Batman's awesome. I think Lucius Fox and all the regular people, Michael Caine, they're all good in this movie. There's some plot holes. I think the fight scenes could have been a little better, especially the last fight with Bane. It's stupid that Catwoman kills him with a blast from her motorcycle, but it's a good movie to me. It's the movie I've seen the most ever in theaters. I fucking loved it, dude.
Wow.
All right, no problem. Next up, Mr. Nerdman, Hot Take Tuesdays. Where do you put The Dark Knight Rises?
I'm all over the place with this movie. I'll like just a little intro to this. How I told you Batman and Robin was the only movie I watched once, and of a superhero I really loved, and just never watched it again. This is the other one, right? But recently, I decided to watch The Dark Knight Rises again. And something about like knowing already what the plot holes and everything I hated about it was, like improved the viewing for me. But then I watched Man of Steel, another movie that I hate, and I just watched them row after row, like Man of Steel, and I like that. And I realized it must be that I'm in some kind of good mood or something, which is why I'm ranking it so high. I watched Infinity War. I even liked that a bit, and then I watched Endgame, and that was still trash. So regarding this movie, I don't even know where to rank it. I feel like I have to watch it again. I've watched it twice now. One time I really just hated it, and then the next time I kind of enjoyed it. But there are some central flaws to this movie that really, really do still piss me off. One, the premise is completely ignored from The Dark Knight, where the police are all after him. He's been a hermit for 8 years for some bizarre reason. Nothing that really happened in the previous movie matters to this continuation of this movie. Also, for some reason, a ghost gives away, like the secret of Talia al Ghul's birth, which makes no sense. Things like that in a grounded movie really take you out of it. Like Ra's al Ghul literally comes out and tells the story of how Talia al Ghul was born, So yeah. Anyway, I'm just gonna rank it for what I think of it in general. I think it's good because I can't put it in trash, and I can't put it in great. But first time I saw it, didn't like it. Second time I saw it, I liked it a little bit better. So I'm putting it in good.
All right. And next up will be Pickle. Pickle.
Dude. I fucking hate this movie.
Woo, yes.
I'm kidding.
Fuck you.
I love this movie. Subjectively, I love this movie, okay? But objectively, it has
Hey,
a
Moira.
lot of problems. So I'm going to put it in good because I can't take my blinders off. This was the greatest theater experience of my life. I had never seen an ending to a movie like as it was happening in the theaters that just made me feel this way. Bane, they changed a lot of stuff about him. He was fantastic to me. Blowing up the football field, breaking Batman's back, taking the whole city of Gotham over, blowing up the bridges, putting the police underground. It was very, like, this movie is really stupid. It's really inconsistent. It's sloppy. There are plot holes.
Yeah.
But this movie is the definition of epic. It is a dumb, stupid, epic movie with so many good emotional moments. Like when Jim Gordon finds out that he's Batman, when he tells him anybody can be a hero, even a man doing something as simple as putting a jacket around a young boy to let him know that the world hasn't ended. And he's like, Bruce Wayne? That shit makes me cry, man. Catwoman's not that good. Bruce going into the tunnels and escaping. What's up, Yellow?
What's up, Yellow?
What's good, Femi? Keep talking.
Him going into the tunnel, yeah, he escaped a little too soon. But, I mean, there was a good montage of it, and he said, my mind is as ready to escape as my body is. So I think him coming back to fight Bane was kind of an ego thing, like, you got me last time, now it's my turn. Dude, this movie is stupid. You could pick it apart all day long.
It is really stupid.
There are some plot holes. How did he get back to America? There are some things with Bane's plot, but I don't give a fuck. I can admit it. The good things in this movie. The good things in this movie: the acting, the writing, the way that the plot progresses, the emotion, the epicness. I love this movie, dude. This movie is really good to me.
Yeah, and I'll say one thing, just piggybacking off what you're saying. A lot of my criticisms of this movie, I realized were, even though there are some bad things about the movie, but a lot of my initial criticisms and why I didn't like the movie at first is because it wasn't the film that I had invented in my head, right? And I didn't realize I was doing that. Like a lot of the things I was like, oh, why is he fucking gone away for 8 years? And why is he like a hermit? And why is Bane not got like his Venom thing? And why is it not the Riddler? And, you know, like all of that kind of stuff I brought to that movie. And then, you know, what hurt the movie is the plot holes, the massive gaping plot holes. So that plus my already like bias going in, I think hurt my first viewing.
Do you care if I add one thing before you jump in, Yellow? Just one thing.
I ain't saying shit.
When he escapes that cave, it's one of my favorite moments in a comic book movie, regardless of the flaws of this movie. Also, when he comes back to Gotham, he tells Gordon to light it up, and he lights that thing up, and the bat symbol is on top of the building when those people have been taken over by terrorists for 3 months, and they see that dude, and it inspires all the people in Gotham to fight back. Dude, that's some shit that even if this movie has flaws, like I don't know too many other directors / writers that brought something like that to a comic book movie. I love that shit, man.
But they do ruin Scarecrow, and he does get back to the city really quickly in a weird way. And
again, there's plenty of
why is he keeping the bomb for like a month, like to let Batman escape? It's weird, man. There's a weird vibe about this movie. It just doesn't like hang together or make sense once you start thinking about it.
You're talking about BVS, right?
Well, you know, you criticize BVS, but I look at this movie and I'm like, same things going on when you think about it a little bit too much. Just like Infinity War and Endgame, you think about it just a teensy bit, and it starts to crumble.
He had to bring up Infinity War.
Yellow, do you want to rank your movies or what? Yeah, he always talk about Infinity War. He's Trash with that. Hey, Ella, you want to do ranking? You want to do your
You
ranking?
brought up BVS first.
If you do, I put the list. I put it in the private chat. The list we're using.
Yeah, you can do it, Yellow, because I'm gonna leave in like I gotta leave in like 15
I've got to
minutes.
leave 5 minutes. Yeah, 15 too.
Well, we did most of the movies. We have two more. Well, there's kind
which
of four
one?
more. But I'm gonna do these ones real quick, right? Because we have Joker, right? We have Lego Batman, and we have the two old school Batman movies. And there's one reason why I want to do this, because I will take the Joker and I will put it in. I wouldn't wipe my ass with this fucking trash ass non-superhero fucking boring ass movie. And the reason why I have the Lego Batman in here and made sure that I put the list so that I could show you guys that I am putting the Lego fucking Batman movie over those two Nolan movies and the Joker. That is right. I am putting the
Wait,
Lego
but you're not putting it over the Dark Knight. You fucked up, bro.
No, I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't over the Dark Knight.
You gotta
I probably wouldn't over
You
the Dark
fucked
Knight.
up.
But I do put
you
it.
gotta relax.
I do put it over Batman.
You fucked up,
Superman.
Arthur. You
I do
fucked
put
up.
it. Why?
You like the Dark Knight. That's it. It's admitted now. You have to. You like the Dark Knight.
I already put the Dark Knight in good.
You can't deny it anymore. Anytime you say it's trash, you're lying. You're fucking lying.
I put the Dark Knight in good, and I tell you why. The movie is trash, but I put it in good because of Heath Ledger's Joker. That's why
it's trash, but good.
Yes,
it's trash, but it's good.
That is exactly what I said. I said if it wasn't for Heath Ledger's Joker,
but it's better than Lego Batman, and you like Lego Batman a lot.
This movie would be in. I wouldn't wipe my ass with this bullshit if it wasn't for Heath Ledger's Joker. That's the reason.
But this is the thing. You said before I went on that you really like Lego Batman. You said that's a really good Batman movie. So
it is a good Batman movie.
So that means if you like the Dark Knight more, ipso facto,
I put the Dark Knight more.
Knight is really good.
Let me say this in English for you so you understand. I put the Dark Knight in good only because of Heath Ledger. That is the only reason why I put it in there. If he was not in that movie, it would be I wouldn't wipe my ass in this shit.
So Anzo, can I ask you a question?
His performance.
You wouldn't wipe your ass with shit. That's a good idea.
Yo, you bro.
Go ahead.
You don't think that the same reasons that the Dark Knight can be in the good category that Joaquin Phoenix's performance elevates that film?
No, because I wasn't really feeling his performance.
I don't understand why the Joker is on this list at all.
Because there is that little young Batman in there, right? So, but this is like all the Batman movies. So I just clicked it on because I only wanted one that had the Lego Batman movie, so I could show you that I would put it over those three movies. Like I put it over
three movies.
Yes,
three movies,
Dark Knight, Dark Knight Rises. Batman Begins and Joker. I put it over.
Shut up! When you said the three movies in the beginning, you meant the Dark Knight as well, and you couldn't live with yourself.
No, I didn't. I have the three movies on the bottom.
All right. Anyway,
I would put it on the bottom. That's why that movie, the Batman Lego movie, is better than those movies.
So
that's my hot take. And not only that,
that's not that hot of a take, man. Lego Batman is fucking hilarious.
Oh, okay, good.
The whole time.
And not only that, I am going to take these two original Batman movies and put them in the same category.
Those 66 movies.
So they're better than Batman v Superman.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they're better than Batman v Superman. All right.
Yes.
I'll show you where I put them.
Shit, I do.
Yes.
You know you don't agree with that.
Too hard to watch. They're just all too hard to watch now. I can't go back and be like, oh yeah, this was a lot of fun when I was a child.
Exactly.
Hey man, I enjoyed them when I was a
Shark
kid.
spray.
And the pow, bang, boom, pow.
Yeah, all that shit was cool. But
Yellow,
it wasn't Batman. It wasn't Batman.
All right, so Nerdman, you could do those ones real quick if you want to, and if you guys want to do it as well, not a problem.
All right. Here's where I
It's a
put
lot
it.
of work.
Here's where I fucking put that. All right, so
Like, who cares where he puts it
where
though?
Yeah, to
where's
be honest.
Joker? Joker isn't even here. Oh, fuck it. I'm used this
Yeah, you
as
see?
Joker.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
think
he's-
it should be. Batman doesn't even play a role in the movie.
yeah, I know, but for whatever reason, it was on the list, and I was
Joker
happy
is
with that.
where it should be. It's in the FilmElitist opinions where it should be. It's fucking a masterpiece. It's very, very good. I think I put it above Batman Begins. Even I think it's really, really good. It's probably one of the best comic book movie ever made. As for the Lego, I'll use this as your Batman's.
It
what
looks
is
like
it?
it's there. On the first row,
What,
the
this
fourth
one?
one. The
This
first row,
one?
the fourth one. Looks like a Lego Batman.
And Lego Batman, I'll
Yeah.
never watch again. In fact, I want to put it in trash just so that you understand. Like, it's fucking trash.
Dude,
All right?
don't even do that. That's
All
a
of
really,
them.
really fun movie.
Guy's fucking
Lego
crazy.
Batman is crap.
I don't think you
can't-
watched it.
Yeah,
Because
he
it's a
probably
good
did.
movie.
I
No, you
watched
didn't
it.
watch it.
Yeah.
movie.
No, you
Yeah,
didn't.
he
I
didn't
watched
watch it.
it. I
You didn't
watched
watch
Yeah,
it. No, you
no,
didn't.
I did watch
Who's
it.
in it? Who did any? Name one voice actor on it.
The guy from
Exactly. Yep.
The Hangover.
Tell me
The guy
one
from The
thing that happened
Hangover
in the
plays
movie.
Joker.
Okay,
Tell me one
Pickle,
thing that
you
happened
go-
in the movie.
Pickle, you go next because you gotta leave. So
The Joker has something
What
where
about
he,
Ricky
wants,
Manzo,
where he thinks
Lego-
that Batman should be in love with him or something.
Lego
That's been
Batman.
in the comic books for decades. Name something that happened in the
Yes.
movie.
Yeah,
I told you something that happened in the movie. That is what happened in the movie. And then there's a bunch of it's trash, man. I'm not gonna go over it. I
Alonzo,
don't
am I
have
just
to
ranking the rest?
prove.
No, you know what?
I don't
You
have to
probably do
prove
think it's
I
trash
watched it to you.
because comedy is trash in general. So I can understand why you wouldn't like it.
Yeah, so sorry guys, I'm just gonna say he's doing Joker, but Lego Batman, and the two old school Batman
Okay,
movies.
Joker is. Well, my
It's
thing's
not
not
a Batman
working.
movie.
All right, yeah, my thing froze.
It has nothing to
Joker
do with
is
Batman.
great. I don't know if it's quite my top tier creme de la creme because I think the script is very average. Some of the dialogue is kind of explanatory. It like hits you over the head a little too much. Like here's like you understand mental illness. I think that the script could have been better, but the performance by Joaquin is all time great. Like one of the greatest
I mean,
performances
it's really
I've ever
just
seen in a
that.
movie.
It's really just that one speech toward the end. That's
That
like
mean?
just
Joker
hits you
It's
over
like,
the-
yes. I just watched the movie. I get it. You have to tell me what I just saw.
Yeah,
So
that
great.
speech, and there's like one or two.
But still
Go ahead.
acted really well, so you don't notice it. And the acting
No,
is
that's not. No, I
superb.
noticed it very much. Like, how did I
What
just talk
specifically
about it
are
if I
you
didn't
talking
notice it?
about? Well,
The
no, I know
expository,
you know.
look at how we
Well,
treat, like the expository. Look at how you treat mental illness speech in the middle of the movie that is clearly about how we treat mental illness.
The Pickle.
You mean
freeze?
in the end of the movie with the
Pickle.
guy
Yeah,
doing the
Well, it was
interview?
like right. Yeah, it was right. It was right at the beginning of the end. Yes. Yeah.
So he
that's
says
it.
something
All right.
like, and you don't think one
It's
werewolf
a very,
and
very
turn
long speech that
whatever.
literally just word for word tells us everything that we just saw in the movie. I just said it. There's no question. There's no question for you to ask. There's no deeper
It doesn't
meaning
tell
to try
you
to derive.
everything you've
That's what
seen
it
in the movie, though. I mean, like,
Right.
let's be clear. It doesn't. It tells you like that being mentally ill is hard in society, and this is what can happen if you like leave the mentally ill to. Yes, I get it. It tells you the meaning or the purpose or whatever the movie's trying to tell you.
Right.
We are going to let FilmElitist do his movies. Yeah, it is trash movie. Absolutely agree. with you
No.
100%.
The movie's great. That speech is trash.
No, the whole
You
movie's
guys
trash.
can, like-
I'm glad you agree with me. Yeah, we hear you.
I don't think
We
it's
disagree
trash
with you.
still, though.
Don't
No, you
think
agree
it's on,
because-
don't think
because-
it should be on this list. We shouldn't even be talking about it.
Because
No,
what
I know
else
it's
would
not
he have?
Batman, but it has Bruce
He-
Wayne in it, so that's why they have it on the list. That's
It
why.
makes sense that he said that. I don't feel like that was just the writer's opinion just coming out in his form. It may well have been the writer's opinion,
No, that's
but
exactly what
it
was.
seemed
That's exactly
it
what
seemed
was.
like it was natural for the character to say that at that point. So
Fine.
to
Now
me,
let's
it isn't-
I
hold
disagree.
on. Let me hear what FilmElitist has to say. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, for one of the rare times in
And let me
history, I'm
interrupt
actually going to
one
agree with
more time.
Nerdman
No, I'm
here.
joking.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Nerdman here. Actually, I have it in the Nerdman/MCU ranking, masterpiece. Um, yeah, man, I think as a
Right.
commentary on
Right.
mental health, the healthcare system, Joaquin Phoenix's performance, bringing that whole Scorsese thing to it, I thought it was, yeah, that's original, but not original at the same time. But I like when people reinterpret flavors like that, bring different flavors to it. It's one of the darker comic book movies ever made. I think that scene at the end with the talk show part where he's doing that thing with De Niro, I think that is something natural that someone that has been through what that person's been through would say, because his frustration has now boiled over to a point where it's like, okay, I'm taking out what the world put on me, in my opinion, back on the world. And when he puts that smile on at the end, when he's standing over those cars, man, and that music is playing, and that scene where he's
That's
dancing in the
fantastic.
bathroom, it's disturbing. It's disturbing. It's like it's not painting a pretty picture of mental health. It's showing you the gritty classism, the lower class people that can't afford to get treatment, like what they go through. Like someone that doesn't, they're not the people that like the media wants to show to you. Like these people exist, and they don't exist in a vacuum. Like there are extenuating circumstances that create someone like the Joker, and that character exploration to me was genius, man. It's a fucking masterpiece, in my
All
opinion.
right. Yeah, and you put Lego
The
Batman where? Hold
smiling
on.
thing is amazing, though, right? Like the
Yeah,
blood smile. I thought that was so
yeah, I
cool.
love that, and I put Lego Batman in like the good category. I haven't seen that but once, and it was a long
Mhm.
time ago, but it was really funny, and I thought it
Oh, it was
was,
hilarious.
yeah, it was a good time, man. It was a good time.
It
Good fun.
was hilarious. I liked it, man. I liked that one. So yeah, I'm gonna give my last ranking over here so you guys can know. We have God level. So number one is Batman Returns. Then we have Batman 89. We have Justice League, the Snyder Cut. In the good category,
What?
we have, yes, that is correct.
Wait, what?
Yes,
That's
that is,
not War. That's not Justice League War that you've ranked there.
no,
This is the Snyder cut. This
you're
is
right.
Zack Snyder's The
I
Justice League.
No, I put it as the Snyder cut because we have the Whedon. So I did the Whedon one and then I did the Snyder one, and they don't have a picture for it. So I used Justice League War for the picture.
And so you decided to put the Snyder cut on God level.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. So again, we have Batman. I can feel Yellow like shaking his head and shit, and I'm not
I
even
think
looking
it.
at his face.
I think it's divisive, but it's less divisive than Snyder's other movies. I think the majority of people like that movie,
I
but
could
I
say.
like
think that's debatable.
that it's still got. No, I think if you look at the ratio of people who hate Batman v Superman or Man of Steel, it's much higher than those who hate Justice League. Is what I'm saying. I think all of Snyder's movies are divisive, though. I think it's like Marmite to people. Like people just don't understand why people hate it, or they don't understand why they like it.
Or if you're in America, what it even is.
Yeah, that's funny. What about the Snyder cut makes it God tier?
Ah man, Steppenwolf, the villain, right? Love
Okay,
the.
that's started real weak.
Why is that weak though? Steppenwolf was a lot
No,
better step up. Go ahead.
well, so yeah, no, just continue. Just
All
continue.
right. We have Steppenwolf, right? I think Steppenwolf was a better villain. His motivation was a lot better than we had
What
in.
exactly was his motivation? He was in trouble. He did a
He was
no.
trying.
Daddy
He
said he
was,
couldn't do it, so he
and he
had to
was
earn his
right, and
father's approval back.
he had to kill
No, he
and
wasn't
he had
trying
to
to. He had to
he had
kill
to
his own
conquer.
family.
No, he had to conquer planets. He owed Darkseid 50,000 worlds before he
Yeah,
can get back home.
so
So
the
his
vig.
motivation
No,
was
no.
to.
But that wasn't that wasn't the whole thing. The thing was that
The whole thing was he
his
betrayed.
family. Wait, no, his family betrayed Darkseid, and then Darkseid. He tried to save his family, and Darkseid took that as a betrayal. He then had to kill his own family, and his punishment from Darkseid for his family betraying him was that he had to take 1,000 worlds or 1,000,000 or however many worlds before he could come back to Apocalypse.
First off, Andrea Clue sent a $5 super chat, and I have no idea what the fuck he wrote there. But thank you very much. But thank you very much.
Schneider cut under.
Yeah,
he explained it all to the freaking
he's actually saying that I agree with you, Anzo. Snyder cut is God tier. That's exactly what that's exactly what I'm saying. So hold on. So first off, Nerdman, all that information was not in the fucking movie.
He says it to Desaad. He basically explains that to Desaad as he's talking to him through this metal thing, and Desaad's like saying, "Yeah, no, you know, like whatever." Yeah, he basically explains like my family, you know, like I can bring it up for you after. I'll show you. Yeah, it's basically what it is. That's why I liked him. I thought that was really a sad story, and that's why I felt like bad when they cut off his head. It's like he was forced to do all of that shit.
I don't remember him talking about that stuff, but I'll look it up. It's not a problem. I got it. I can always look it up. Joker great, Lego Batman good, Batman 66 meh or bad. Got you. No problem. So I'll finish up my list here.
But he was asking you why he put it in God tier. Have you finished?
Yeah. Okay. So right.
I don't care anymore. I'm sorry.
I care. So I'm gonna say it's a great film about gods, right? And their dysfunctional parents.
I have no idea, but I thought I was a.
Did you hold on?
No, because I put it in God tier as well.
Don't care. But
I put it in God tier as well.
You put it in God tier as well.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yes, he did. So,
all right. Anyway, forget about it. Like, since you've made it awkward, I'll leave it.
No. So I will say this. Like I said, it was Steppenwolf. I like the fact that we got a lot more Cyborg. I like the Flash a lot better in this movie. I can watch this movie from start to finish, and it's a 4-hour movie. And like I said before, I can't do that with Endgame. The middle part of Endgame just doesn't do it for me. So yes, 100%. Now, I have Batman Returns, Batman 89, and Zack Snyder's Justice League as in my God tier. Then my number 4th would be The Dark Knight. And like I've said many times, it's only because of Heath Ledger's performance. After The Dark Knight, we got Lego Batman. Then I'm putting in the 1960 Batman first movie, and then the second movie. That was pretty, yeah. But it's still better than Batman versus Superman. In my trash category, we got the Justice League, which is the Whedon cut of Justice League, which was absolutely garbage. Then we have Batman Forever.
Wait, so the Whedon Justice League is better than Joker?
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%.
How exactly? What about the Whedon Justice League is better than Joker?
The action, you know what I mean? The action is good in that movie.
Right. So you get to turn your brain off. Feel you.
Basically, yeah. Respect. You know what I mean? There's some things that are good in it, and
I love the way I swear to God, I love the way this. You're just sitting there and taking this. You're sitting here and taking this when you've gone after me for Infinity War and Captain Marvel. You've literally yellow. You've gone after me for Infinity War and Captain Marvel. He said the Joker is a worse movie than 2017 Justice League.
I don't think Joker should be on this list, period. So that's like I'm already.
Oh, okay. Yeah, mental gymnastics, excuses. Okay.
It shouldn't be on this list at all. So wherever he puts it, it doesn't really matter.
All right. So it's better than Dark Knight Rises and Batman Begins, yeah? 2017 Justice League.
Yes.
No.
Yes. All right. So then we have.
How? But like how exactly? Like how is it that you can look at them? Like so the Dark Knight Rises has a lot of problems. The Justice League is the worst superhero movie ever made.
No,
there's things
like you're going too far.
No, there's things in
no, it's literally the worst.
In your
everything
opinion,
that could have been good about it was cut out of it, right?
That is
and
correct.
And then what was put in to like make it feel more cohesive were a lot of bad
Batman and Robin
and reused jokes.
Yeah,
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin is way funnier than anything that the Justice League does. The Fantastic Four gets a lot of hate. All right, but you got to understand the time.
No, I
that it
mean
came
the
out.
original Fantastic Four, the first
Fantastic
one.
Four gets a lot of hate, but you got to know because the Fan Four stick was terrible. But the Fantastic Four gets a lot of hate. But the time that it came out, it was just as campy as all the other comic book movies, right?
No. I'm talking about the absolute first Fantastic Four.
No one
That
cares
never
about that.
You
got
No one
have,
cares
released,
about that. No one takes it
bro.
yeah,
seriously.
no,
one
but
takes
you
it
just
seriously.
said it's the worst
No one
comic
takes that
book
serious.
movie of all time. So stop saying that shit. It's not. Just don't like say that to try and make a point. It really isn't. I get it. It's one of the worst comic book movies of all time.
I don't
The
like.
worst.
Why are you ever involved with any tier ranking? You put Infinity War next to Captain Marvel when you're ranking the MCU.
Yeah, do you see
I
what
don't
I mean?
understand why anybody even invites you to these things. But like, I just don't like. There's so many flaws. It's such a mess. The Justice League. I don't like how. So it's really just a matter of style, then, right? So what I'm hearing is that you don't like when your superhero stories are too real. That's what the problem is. That's how you can.
No,
That's how
that
you
could be
put
that.
the Joker and the Dark Knight. I mean, I'm sorry, the fact that you disrespect the Dark Knight is a whole different thing. But like Dark Knight Rises and Batman Begins underneath any of the bottom three tiers. That's like
Yeah,
all of those
because like
movies are demonstrably worse. Well, Lego Batman should probably be higher. It's really funny. But like everything after that is
Objectively
demonstrably
worse.
worse than like you can prove it. It's not even a matter of opinion
You
at that
can't
point.
prove
Like
that.
you can literally
what
look at it and you can
You
see
can't
the
prove it.
terribleness in it. Yes, you
and
can.
You can't
and
You
prove
I
it.
can
literally
see
It's all
can.
subjective.
and
When
I
you
can
look
It's all
when you
it
subjective.
is
put the when you
subjective.
can when you can
I
I
think
can, I
he's
can pull
right.
up a clip
Hold
of
on, one at
Justice
a
League. I
time.
can pull up a clip of Justice League right now, and you can
Justice
see
League.
where the tone shifts. Justice League,
Absolutely.
and
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can see where the
Yeah.
tone shifts. Right, you can
yes,
see where it is a
yes.
Frankenstein of a movie. You
Yeah,
can
but
see it.
somebody
That is
might
an
like that.
objective.
Hold on.
That
Let him
is
finish.
But someone
that is
might
an
like that.
objective. That doesn't matter. They objectively like trash. That is an objective
Okay.
In
flaw
your
in any
opinion,
kind of
In
cinema.
your
That's a
opinion.
flaw.
in your
In your
opinion,
It's
right?
not.
opinion. In my
It's not. That's a
opinion,
ridiculous statement. That's a
2017
ridiculous statement.
No. Hold on.
2017
Let me
Justice
finish.
League is about on par with Endgame, in my opinion.
Let me finish. Let me finish. It
And I have to
regardless
say
of
peace.
you can find yeah. Peace out, nerd man. Have a
Hey,
good one.
man, I love you, bro.
Right.
Great
I
having you
love you
on, man.
too. Peace.
Sorry
Now,
for
Bye
snapping
bye.
on you.
now, yes, you can
It's all right.
say.
It's all right, bro.
That's all, guys. Peace out, nerd man. Now, yes, you can say there are flaws in it, 100%. But when you are saying that it's better, and that's a fact, it's not a fact because that's your
Yes,
opinion.
it is.
No, it's
No,
not because
no,
in
no,
my
no, no.
opinion,
When you tell stories, right, the tone can't shift randomly throughout the movie. That's a storytelling flaw. So if your idea was to tell a story, then you failed at that, right? That's the thing that I'm saying.
that I completely understand that, but for you saying it's bad, that's still objective. To you, it's bad, but I liked it. I didn't think fucking Justice League was that fucking piece of shit movie that everybody thought it was. There were things
Here's
in the
the
movie
question,
that I
Uncle.
liked.
You
The
think that
thing that-
you liked it more, or do you think it's better?
What do you mean?
Well,
Better
'cause those
than?
can be two different things, right? Because you can like it
Oh,
more
I
than
think
a
it's
movie.
100% better than Joker because
Okay.
Joker was boring as shit to me. I did not feel Joaquin Phoenix Joker. To me, it didn't even have to be Joker. You could have fucking took any, like, that movie felt like it was written for someone with depression or whatever, and they said, hey,
I mean,
you know
that's what it
what,
was.
you can slap the Joker on this and boom, superhero movie. It was
I
not
agree with that. 100%, but not superhero movie. It doesn't make it a superhero movie. It
no,
makes
it's
it a
not a
comic book
superhero
movie,
movie.
or they wanted it to be a comic book movie. But I agree with that. But none of that makes that movie bad, though, and it doesn't make it worse than the Justice League.
Well, it makes it bad to me because I wanted to see a Joker movie, and to me, it wasn't a Joker movie, right? It wasn't a Joker movie. It just feels like a. You said that Justice League feels like slapped together, you're changing tones, but to me, Joker felt like a movie of just a regular dude with depression or whatever the fuck he had, right? And they ended up saying, you know what, we would probably make more money.
I don't care.
If we
Joker
were,
shouldn't be on this list. I don't want to because we keep talking about Joker.
well, I'm
forever.
putting it
doesn't
on the
matter.
list. I'm putting it on the list because Bruce Wayne is in it. So
But it's not a Batman movie. It's not. He has nothing to do with the story at all. Like
yes,
there's
he
no
does.
reason for him to
Well,
be in
he
the
does.
movie.
He does have it, but because the Joker thought he was his brother, so there's that scene where he's talking to him. Father comes up, right? So because he's in it, that's why I put it on the list. It's there, you know what I mean? So I ranked it, and I ranked it because I think it's trash. Dark Knight Rises and the Dark Knight Rises and Batman Begins. They're trash to me, so that's why I put it like that, you know. And that's my listing. So
That shit is nonsense. I like things about the Justice League too. It's still a trash movie. Like
Yeah,
it is,
I
it
agree.
is.
That's why.
There's no consistency. There's
But
no, like it just can't. I don't see how anybody could rank it high. Nolan knew what he was doing when he made Batman Begins. He had an idea in mind and he executed it right. Like and it's really really good.
right, and you see, I still have Justice League in trash, right? But these three movies are movies that I would not wipe my ass with. I will not watch these three movies ever again, ever. They did not do it for me. I feel like
I
I
think you need
wasted
to.
money.
I think you need to watch Batman Begins and Dark Knight Rises again and Joker. Like
But
so, all right. So Joker's not. So Joker's not a comic book movie. Sure. The story that they did tell, that's a bad story. You think like that's not a good movie?
I'm not saying the story wasn't bad. It just wasn't anything I wanted to see. Like the story, the message in the story may have made sense, 100%. You know what I mean?
So aside from you wanting to see it or not, though, was it put together well?
It was okay. It wasn't. It was nothing special, though. This is what I'm trying to say to me. To me, this movie was nothing special to me at all. Right? Story was okay. It wasn't like this amazing fucking story where I sat down and I was at the edge of my seat and I'm like, oh my god, this is the shit. It just wasn't that for me. It was just like, meh. Like, okay, I'm watching a movie about a guy with depression and blah 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 blah. I've been through depression. I had 5-year depression, so I don't want to watch that. I know what it's like, so I don't want to watch that. And then, it's just was absolute hot mess for me. What's up, Stig? Glad you can make it. And then the other two. So that's my ranking. This is my ranking. I knew when I made
more like you just had an expectation in mind, and that ruined it. Like you didn't actually watch the movie. You just kind of
I knew what the
movie was happening.
No, I knew what type of
that it didn't do what you wanted it to do.
I knew what type of movie it was.
I didn't say you didn't know. I said
I didn't have an expectation. Though you're saying
you were
I had an
it's not what I wanted it to be.
Right, it's not what I wanted to see. I knew what the expectation was because even when I seen the trailer, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna like this movie because I know what the movie is about. And when I watched it, it was confirmed to me that it was just a fucking movie about some dude, and they felt they could make more money by making it a Joker movie. That's what I think.
But now you're not even like you're not like you keep saying that, but that's not about the movie. You're talking about like the corporatocracy. You're like they decided to sprinkle some bullshit onto this movie. And
because it's not a Joker
that's what you're
movie.
Complaining about.
Because it's
sure,
not a
and I
Joker
can
movie.
I can even agree that it's not a comic book movie, right? But even in the same way, it's not a Joker movie. How is it is enough of a Batman movie to get on this list if it's not even a Joker movie? You see what I'm saying? Like it just I don't even understand
because
why
Bruce Wayne is in it and his name is Joker. So it's Bruce Wayne is in it and the name of the movie is Joker. So because you want to put it in that, and I did not put it on this list. I picked the list and it was there. You
leave it in this pile of movies down there. Like
I could have.
Return of the Joker is down there. Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker is down there.
Yeah, but these are all animated though. The rest of these are animated, but I wasn't ranking the animated. I was just ranking
Lego Batman, bro.
Oh yeah, well, I wanted to put Lego Batman on there for a reason though. Because I thought I thought people would be like, you think Lego Batman is better than, that's why I put these two movies up here. You really think I think these fucking two movies are better than these ones?
I don't know.
You're on that nerd man shit.
Huh? These two. Oh, I'm sorry, because I'm showing the wrong screen. That's why. These two.
I don't know.
These two, Batman and this Batman. You really think I think these two movies are better than any of these movies below it?
No, it's that nerd man. It's that nerd man troll.
So that's my issue. That's my issue with Justice League. Then
no.
I don't get it.
It's these two movies. It's these two movies.
No,
right
I hear you, but it does like you put them there, so I can't trust anything that happens below that spot. I can't trust anything after
it's
the Dark
okay.
Knight.
I don't mind. Technically, I wouldn't put. Technically,
it's not as bad as putting
movies
Infinity War and Captain Marvel in the same tier, but it's completely ridiculous.
Technically, I wouldn't put those movies there because I just wanted to throw that one. But this would be the list. Like this is exactly where I think these movies should be.
It's too late now, man.
I don't care. I'm just telling you.
Garbage.
That's exactly where I think those movies should be.
Doesn't make sense. The Joker shouldn't be on there. Justice League is a complete, like, the worst. The character who suffered the worst in Justice League is probably Batman. So I just don't understand like how any of it can. I don't know, man. It's fucking stupid. It's ridiculous. It was hard to
Actually.
watch. I was bored. The only good part of the movie is when Superman's alive, and he turns and
Hanzo.
looks at the Flash while he's running past him. That's literally the only good point in the entire movie.
Later,
Hanzo and
Andrea,
I
finish your
usually
photo.
agree on stuff, but my list is like the total opposite, man.
Yeah, you can show your list if you want to.
Yeah.
Here, Nerdman had to bounce, but he's scared to say it on the stream. He said, "Yellow, you're full of shit." But why didn't you say that when he was on the stream with him, bro? You're typing that in the chat. Scared of Yellow.
Says that to
Don't
me.
be
It doesn't
scared,
mean
homie.
anything.
What's that, Yellow?
He always says that to me. It doesn't mean anything.
All
So
right,
give
this
your
is-
ranking and let them know, and I'm just gonna get a drink real quick.
All right, yeah. Can you see my screen? Yellow, you there?
I don't know. Is this yours? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So
mean,
I
if
have
you can see it, then I can see it.
yeah. So I have The Dark Knight and Joker as a masterpiece for me.
Again, Joker on the fucking.
Well, I think you could move that down to great, but I think
I don't think it
it's
should be
any
on the
lower than that.
list. It's my.
Oh,
It shouldn't
yeah,
be on
yeah.
the list.
Yeah, I understand that. Batman Begins and The Dark Knight Rises I have in great.
Nah.
I got Lego Batman and good. I got the Burton movies in average. I got BVS and Batman Forever and one step above garbage.
That's hilarious.
And I've got the Justice League and Batman and Robin in trash.
Yeah, that's. I mean, yeah, I would. I wouldn't be so harsh on the Riddler and Two-Face movie. Thought it was fun. It's definitely a failure, but it's one of those guilty pleasures.
I like Val Kilmer in that movie. Actually, I don't think he was that bad.
Everybody's like, Tommy Lee Jones didn't even want to make the movie. Well, the shit was fun watching him be bad at it. Goddamn it! I'll tell you that shit right now. That motherfucker. I love all of that shit.
Yeah, I know a lot of people,
that bullshit.
A lot of people like Jim Carrey's Riddler too. I don't know. It doesn't do it for me.
Yeah,
but I get how
of
it can be
course, he was
fun.
great. Motherfuckers like, oh, he's just being Jim Carrey. It's like, yeah, that's why they fucking hired him, and it was great.
Yeah, as like
it
a
was
campy,
fucking great.
as a campy fun movie, I could see the value in that one. Yeah, for sure.
It definitely does not deserve to be under BVS. BVS took itself entirely too seriously. It's way better. It's way more fun than that.
Yeah, we can. That's fair.
Crazy.
We'll move it. We'll move it in front of BVS.
Disrespect.
Do not make Yellow fucking make you move the movies on your list, bro.
Doesn't make any sense. All I did was make sense. Just
That was
because you
that's a
refuse
fair
to accept
point.
reason by one, keeping the Joker on this list, he doesn't belong there, and then two, Justice League over anything at all. It's just ridiculous. It's like if I didn't expend all of my energy and hatred on fucking Nerdman putting Infinity War next to Captain Marvel, I would probably be eating your ass right now. I can't deal with this shit.
You would be trying to eat my ass right now, but that's not
Successful.
gonna happen. I am not fucking.
Pause.
Well, yeah, I was just about to say that too, to be honest with you. But I'm not Nerdman, bro. I ain't backing down. That's your
He pushed
opinion,
me
that's
to
fine.
he pushed me to the
He
limit.
said, I'm not Nerdman. I ain't backing down. He didn't back down either. It's not about backing down. It's about you being wrong, just objectively wrong. Like, I just don't get how you can. So I disagree because motherfuckers be like, oh, it's just a movie, man. It's all subjective. I don't think it is. I don't think storytelling is all subjective. That's
No,
not.
I
You can
agree
still
with
like
you.
trash. You can like trash. That's fine. I'm not saying you can't like trash. But like when you start tier listing some shit, you can't just ignore all of the objectively painful parts of a movie because of 2-3 things in it that you enjoy. Like that's some bullshit. That's some flat out bullshit.
But I can if the good outweighs the bad. You see, that's the way I rank my movies. If the good outweighs the bad,
certainly does not.
For me, it does.
And it's not, and there's no way that you could put the Justice League realistically over Batman Begins. I can't understand that shit.
Absolutely.
And I'm not even this big, like, Batman, the Nolan trilogy, it's only The Dark Knight. Like, for me, it's only The Dark Knight that they were like, you fucking did it. It's perfect. Like, Batman Begins is cool. It's great. It's a good movie or whatever. And Dark Knight Rises is significantly worse. But like Batman, that's the one where you could be like, yo, there's a lot of fun shit that happens in it. I understand the movie. So, like,
what you're talking about,
Batman is the only, Batman Begins is the only one that I seen for one time, but I only seen it one time because I know I didn't like it. But Dark Knight Rises, I gave it the respect it was due because of Heath Ledger. Take him out of that movie, and it's
you
fucking
keep saying
trash.
that, but there's a lot more than just Heath Ledger in that shit. There's a lot of cool Batman shit in that movie.
To me, it was only that. You know what I mean? In my opinion, the Tumblr sucked. You know, the motorcycle was
But
good,
even
the Tumblr
even the
sucked.
way how all of the scenes were written and all, like all the stuff that Heath Ledger was doing, he didn't write all of his fucking
But
scenes.
all of
This
his,
is just a performance. Like the opening to
yeah,
that movie was fucking perfect.
yeah,
Also,
but
similar to how Kingpin and Daredevil in that Daredevil show, how they mirror each other and their arcs, but like the duality there. And I guess I'm trying to
Yes.
say like
but all of
how it
Yes.
Joker's
plays off,
plans
man. That
was coincidental. It was all
no,
depending on
no, no. He's
coincidental
lying
shit.
the whole time, bro. He's lying. He's lying and saying like I don't have a plan. I'm just a dog chasing after cars. But
No,
it's the
but he did
exact
have a plan.
opposite,
But he did have a
right?
plan, and his plan was all based on coincidental stuff happening. That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying. The
if you
boat
take the
stuff is
interpretation about and
coincidental stuff. You know, you don't know how things are going to react in that situation. But his plan was for them to blow up the boat, and of course they didn't do it. So
but
you know,
he
it's
had a
all
fail safe
coincidental.
But
because
that's not how
he had
coincidence
Harvey,
works. That's not how coincidence works.
right?
He wanted to prove that people were trash. At the end, he had to let them make the decision. That was the point. And then if they
Right.
didn't, right, in the amount of time to also add to the pressure to prove that people are trash, then
He
he
was
would have
going to
blown them
blow
up.
it
But
up,
that's
right?
not. But that's not coincident. Like coincidental is, oh, I just happened to land in a place where
And
two
while
boats are
that's
full of bombs.
happening,
Let's put a bunch of people on them. Like that's a coincidence.
and like he told
That's not.
Batman, he said Harvey Dent is my ace in the hole. If I can prove that I turned this guy into a piece of
Right.
garbage, I won no matter what. I won the battle between good and evil. I proved that anybody can be taken down to my level.
And then you could have blamed Harvey Dent's murder on the Joker. You
Right.
didn't have to blame it on Batman. You could have blamed
Sure.
that on the Joker. So there's a lot of things in that movie. Like I said, for
I mean,
me,
I don't know if he could have blamed it on the Joker, though, to be honest, because the Joker was already tied up, and the people who were coming were the police, and the police
what
knew
I
that the
said.
Joker was already tied up.
yeah,
That's
but
what
you
I
I
don't
could have
know how
said
you could have realistic, like
because
all
you
of the
could have
police would have to
because
be
you
in on
could
it then,
you could
and
have
that's the
said
same kind of corruption that they're trying to get rid of, right?
no. You
So-
could have said because there was nobody in that warehouse when it happened. So you could have said it happened before they caught the Joker. You
So
guys
you're
came on
talking
the
about.
scene.
So you're saying the corruption then? The whole point of the movie is no bad corruption bad. So do the corruption is what you're saying.
Also,
No, I'm saying you could have
Gordon,
blamed it on fucking Joker. Joker was a
Right,
psychopathic killer.
But
They do it all the time in
But
real
there
life.
would have been forensic evidence that would have showed that the Joker wasn't even
Right.
there ever.
and,
There
and
would
for
have been
Gordon,
evidence that
for
would have.
Gordon to conspire with the
Well,
whole police force to
first
do
off,
that when he had
he
cops.
wouldn't have had to conspire with the whole police force. He only would have had to conspire with Batman, who was there then, right at that moment, right? That's the only person he would have to.
What
They were
Yellow
the
just
only
said
people
about
there.
forensics and stuff, like they're gonna take.
Yeah, but now
ballistics
you're
and they're
talking
gonna-
forensic and shit. They could have done that in all the other movies. They didn't do it, so like
They
I
did
get
do
it.
it. Batman literally used science to find out stuff in the movie. Like the
ballistics.
police he was working with the police with the radiated bills and all that. Like they showed us the science that the police were using,
Yeah.
like all the time. And that's this thing.
when he
You
takes
just
the
wanted it to
bullet-
be bad, and you have weak reasons as to why. That's
He's
They're
it.
not
literally
weak
analyzing
reasons.
a gunshot.
They
in
are.
that-
Absolutely
in
not.
that
They
house,
are. They don't
dude.
stand up to any kind of
Absolutely not.
scrupulence. So I don't know how else
Absolutely not. But it could have
define
been
weak.
done. It could have been done. Regardless of what you guys say, they could have done it that way. It didn't have to be blamed on fucking Batman. You know what I mean? They could have done so many other things with that movie. That movie was fucking, to me, it was, again.
It didn't have to be blamed on Batman, but it couldn't have been blamed on the Joker. So I don't know how else you
I
explain.
mean, it could have been blamed on Joker.
Jimmy Jr. What do you think? He did it? Yeah.
Could have blamed it on Joker.
Jimmy
Either,
not, well, that's
right?
Hey,
that's
Andre.
worse writing. That's
And-
worse. Now I understand why the Justice League is so high on that trash list.
And why is that? Because it's a better
Because you're a
movie.
terrible writer. That's
It's
why.
a
You're
better
a
movie.
horrible movie writer.
It's a better movie. That's why.
Yeah,
100%
Anzo,
better.
I'm gonna bounce out. I gotta hit another stream. I just wanted to say thanks for having me on. And you know I already apologized or whatever, but I do feel bad about exploding earlier. Nerdman kind of pushed me to a limit, and I've been going through some stuff. I don't want to put bad energy out into the world. There's enough of that, so I apologize for that.
Nah, don't worry about that, man. It's all good.
All right, not Yellow. Nice seeing you, man.
Peace out.
Peace.
Peace, guys.
Take care. Yeah, movie was trash. You want to do your ranking? This is there.
I mean, I've been working on it. It's hard to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
When you're ready, share your screen. Because
the problem is that it's hard to see these fucking movies.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
know,
pro- It's
I
like
know,
it's
I know.
hard to like. They're so small, and especially with the Nolan trilogy, it's hard to like.
tell which one was which. Even with
Yeah.
the Batman '89 one, took me so long to find the Batman
Return in
'89 one.
'89. It was
Yeah.
like hard to. I don't know what that was.
Yeah, it's fucking dumb. But I would like to see what your listing is.
I mean, my list is gonna be like, you know, standard shit. Like it's gonna be the same shit that everybody else says, except I'm not putting the fucking Joker on my list because it doesn't belong there. It's not a Batman movie. It's not even related, and in the loose relation to a Batman movie is fucking like
You don't have to. I
ridiculous.
put it there
What is
because
this
I
right
wanted
here?
people to know it was trash and Bruce Wayne is in it. So fuck it. I put it there. You don't have to if you don't want to. I put it
I
there.
wanted people to know it's trash. That's crazy. That fucking movie's incredible. I don't know how. Like it's just you don't like it, fine. Like it, whatever. It's
Didn't do it for me,
bam,
man.
boom, bam, pow. Right? I bet you those Transformer movies are incredible, huh?
No, they're all
The
trash.
first three, you love them.
They're all trash.
Fast 9 is incredible, ain't it? I know.
Hey,
I hear you.
Fast Nine
Loud
is
and clear.
better than Joker.
Uh,
Fast Nine was more. I had a better time at Fast Nine than watching fucking Joker, and even that movie was fucking trash. So it's all good. Like I said, Yellow can get a woman to get naked by just talking before she realizes what's going on.
Mads.
Just pointing out his Jedi mind trick powers of conversation.
Mind trick. There's no trick though.
Yeah,
that's
it's
the
mind
thing. Like
tricks.
people like you act like I manipulate facts and shit. Like I don't do that.
Yeah.
Y'all motherfuckers is just
Absolutely
you know
mind tricks. I know. Damn.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Good book.
All that bullshit that you talking, see?
I know. I know Rogue Comics got my back.
What?
I said I know Rogue Comics got my back.
This is the appropriate fucking listing, all right, guys? Like let's just so you can see it, man. All right. Obviously The Dark Knight is at the top. It's top 3 comic book movies, period. You feel me? It's up there with Logan and the Spider-Verse. Y'all can catch these hands. Now, the disrespect for the animated movies, fam, I don't understand. Return to the Joker, Batman Beyond Return of the Joker is fucking immaculate. And when you get the I think it's like I don't know if there's a PG-13 version and then there's an unrated version. The unrated version of that fucking movie, oh my god, it's so fucking good, fam. And then of course I couldn't tell which one this is, but it's another animated movie. It's supposed to be The Dark Knight Returns 2. Whatever that, you know, the second half of that fucking comic book where it's him and versus Superman and all that stuff. Like that
he's
shit
old,
is amazing.
right?
Yeah.
And he says
exactly.
the line, remember you got beat by a human or something like that, right? Yeah.
That shit is absolutely immaculate. Again, animated, you feel what I'm saying? Under the Red Hood, fire, Master of the Phantasm. Oh, I'm sorry. This is supposed to be Master of the Phantasm. It's Freeze, but it's supposed to be Master of the Phantasm. Fire, bro. Where the fuck is it? That's a problem. Here it is. That's the problem with these motherfuckers and shit. It's too fucking,
I know.
Freeze was good. Freeze was good though, but it's irrelevant. Mask of the Phantasm, you feel me? Doom, and then Lego Batman is absolutely hilarious, bro. It's mad fun from start to finish. All the different little references and shit like that is super enjoyable, man. It's just a lot of fucking fun. I died laughing twice watching that fucking movie.
Yeah, it's funny. But to be real though, a lot of the Lego movies are funny though. A lot of them.
Nah, that second Lego movie was trash.
Well, no, the second Batman Lego movie, but I'm talking
watching it, I think. No, I'm talking about the Lego movie. I was like, yo, can't do this.
With Chris Pratt?
I don't Chris
Pratt was the voice? Yeah. Oh yeah, you didn't like that one?
No, not the second one. The first one was great.
Awesome. Oh, the first one. Okay, yeah, the second one was trash.
Right.
Yeah,
the sequel was trash. The sequel was trash.
Everything is awesome. Yeah, the first one was funny. Yeah.
That shit was incredible. The second one was garbage.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, Batman Begins, man. Batman Begins is strong, bro. It's super, super good. As a matter of fact, hold on though, because I think I would put Batman Returns over it just because of how stylistic it is. You feel what I'm saying? Like I appreciate that stylistic shit. Like, you know, play. All right, motherfucker, play with style for me. You know, tell me a story. Play with style. It gets weird. Michelle Pfeiffer died 7 times or whatever. Like this is ridiculous. But like they playing with style. I like that shit. Danny DeVito bit off that nigga's nose. Super fire. But Yeah, man. Then Batman Begins. You feel what I'm saying? I think it was a great introduction, a reinvigoration of Batman. We hadn't had Batman really. We hadn't had Batman in live action since those god awful Schumacher movies. So like it was like, yeah, let's go. And it was a breath of fresh air, fam. I loved so much about it. I have problems with it too, and they kind of lose me a little bit with the train at the end. But all the other stuff, the fucking scarecrow, fear toxin, all that shit is incredible, man. Watching Bruce become Batman, all that shit is great. Him versus Liam Neeson, Ra's al Ghul, fuck all that race bullshit. I don't care what the comic creator said. It was white guys using Arabic names. They didn't know what they were saying. It's fine. Move on. Batman '89, obviously, what I mean? Need I say more? Sub-Zero is great. Dark Knight, yeah. Now we start getting into the, like Dark Knight Rises, Dark Knight Rises and Batman Forever, they're the same to me. There's a lot of good shit in it that I like, and there's a whole lot of bad shit in it that is hard to like. Like, oh my god, what's happening here? So that's where they belong. And I might have to move BVS because I really don't like BVS. But the Batman stuff in BVS, I think. Batman vs. Robin is funny. It's fun to trash it. It's fun to trash it while it's being so bad. It's a terrible movie, but it's enjoyable to trash it while it's being bad. The Batman stuff in BVS is mostly all great. It's a lot of good Batman stuff. The movie is garbage. It's bloated. It's self-indulgent. It just wastes too much time. I don't like it. It's just not good, fam. And then all the way at the bottom, of course, is that god awful Justice League movie. And where would I put the Snyder Cut? I don't know if I would. It's better than the Justice League movie, I guess. Probably go in E, maybe.
Shit.
Maybe. And I'm gonna use Public Enemies for the Snyder Cut because I do think that the Snyder Cut, even as a complete film, is a public enemy to cinema. No fucking creator. Like, let the creators create, right? And then force the creators to cut that shit down. No creator should be able to indulge themselves that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the only reason why it was really 4 hours is because it was HBO Max. If that was coming out in the theater, he would have probably had to cut it down to at least 3 hours.
Yeah, and it needed to be.
It could have been, and there's things in it that you could have been.
It needed to be.
I don't think so.
We didn't need any of that nightmare shit at the end. We didn't need any of that. That shit did nothing to add to the movie at all. You know what I mean? Like, and then there's a bunch of shit throughout the movie that like did not need to be there. It dragged, bro. It was a lot of movie.
Well, I say the nightmare scene. I don't know why people don't like it. I think it's fire. I like it.
No, it's not that I don't like it, but that's not why I say it doesn't need to be there. It doesn't add to the movie at all. It does nothing for the movie that we just saw.
Well, I agree with you on that, but it's because, of course, that's what he wanted to do in the next movie, right? So I guess he was giving people a little glimpse of what he had planned. Hopefully that maybe. Yeah, maybe Snyder would have hoped that people would enjoy it.
Film. At that point, it's a fan film. There's nothing.
Why is it a fan film?
It's a fan film. It's like here's something that I would do if given the chance. Mm-hmm. That's what fan film like. That's the shit. Like, that's what it is. That shit has nothing to do with nothing.
Yeah, but that was probably what he planned to put in the movie anyway. So if he was planning on putting it, everything. Huh? Why you say nah?
Nah. Well, according to what everybody says, that he didn't actually plan to have that in the movie.
It was filmed when they started doing the refilms for it, right? When he finally got it. It was filmed then. It wasn't filmed originally, that scene. Mm. But just because it wasn't filmed originally doesn't mean that he didn't always have a plan to put it in there.
I think it does, especially when you say like they had everything that they needed to make the movie. They just needed to do post-production on it, which was the point of that first $35 million. And then all of a sudden there was another $35 million. And now we end up with 30 minutes of movie that doesn't need to be in the movie. So, I mean, I don't know, but it seems like it's just a lot of shit that was added on just so he could finally get his full. It doesn't matter. The point is that when you watch the movie, that shit did not need to be there. That's it. That's the point. And like a lot of shit that did not need all the slow-mo in that fucking movie. Come on, man. This shit was ridiculous. How much slow-mo do you need to watch Barry save Iris?
Oh, I like the slow mo. I think it's action. This is his kind of style. I get it, and I don't have an issue with it. Like the slow mo is nothing that bothered me. Like I'm
It
sitting here
adds to the
now.
length of that movie.
Nah, I guess you could say that, but I'm watching it now. I'm thinking about it now, and I'm trying to think of where all the slow mo scenes were. Like, you know what I mean? Cuts off the head, um, the flash scene, the
No.
iris
The
scene,
flash scene. No, the flash scene is like which flash scene? Because the
the one at
iris
the end.
scene, that's too long. But the flash scene at the end, no, that's where you use the slow mo. That's where
No,
it's perfect.
no. I'm just trying to count how many times he used it. So
Oh,
I'm saying the flash scene at the end, the iris scene, when she cuts off Steppenwolf's
the
head.
whole beginning, the beginning where all the gods and the monsters are fighting each other. That's most of that is fucking like like all of that. It's just a lot of stuff, man. It's just a lot of stuff that's like just
I don't remember it
too
being
much.
so much in slow mo, but either or, I didn't. That's nothing that bothered me about it. It did it take me out the movie though? Was it too much? Maybe, but it just didn't bother me. You know, I love the stuff with the Flash. You know, they made him a lot better than the Justice League one, and I liked that. And a lot of people were judging Ezra Miller, saying, "Oh, he's shitty, he's shitty." Was he? Is he still a great Flash? No, but was he better than what we got? Absolutely, 100%. Cyborg being the heart of the movie was something that I really enjoyed. And I enjoyed the scenes with his father. And, it's like, oh, I didn't think he would come. And he's like, of course, you're my father. Those are certain things that I liked in the movie. So that's why I'm saying, like, it had those moments, that I liked. So I put it up there. I could watch that movie over watching the full movie of Endgame, because once that time traveling stuff starts, I just start like, okay, doing other things, checking my phone until we get to the final battle. So that's just
Yeah,
my opinion.
sure, whatever you say, fam.
That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? Like,
That shit is painful. There's way too much movie in that hoe.
um, again, I don't think so. Like, I watched it 3 times straight through. 3 times straight through.
That's crazy. That's
I watched
nuts.
Endgame the first time, and then any other time I watched it, I never watched it straight through. Now, is it better than Infinity War? Absolutely not. But I would definitely say it's a little bit better than Endgame, in my opinion.
You would say that the Snyder Cut is better than Endgame.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yes, I have said that.
That's ridiculous.
Why is it ridiculous?
I don't care. I don't care. There's just so. I mean, all of the intercharacter stuff in Endgame is way better than all of the intercharacter stuff in the Justice League. Like all of the characters doing stuff, even the dumb jokes in Endgame are way better than anything that the characters do with each other in the Justice League. There's no like chemistry on that. The one good scene is the same one that was in the Justice League with Bruce and Barry when he meets and they do the fucking, you're the Flash, I'm Batman. They do that shit. That shit was fine. That shit was good. I think it had like they had a good repartee, if you will. Like there's no kind of, and then like these are all good actors. And the only person who Gal Gadot's not a good actor, but they found a good way to use her. And the only person that really got to do any real acting is Cyborg. And it
Oh,
just, I don't know, it just feels like a waste. It just feels like it's so much about there's nothing, there's at no point in the movie am I really worried or like, do I really feel any sense of stakes? It's just a weird, like, it's, I don't know, man. They're just doing stuff.
for me, and I hear what you're saying. But for me, I think the chemistry between them was good. Like the scene where they're sitting around the table and they're deciding to whether to bring back Superman. I liked the fact that they all agreed on it. I didn't like in Justice League where it was like, yeah, we're gonna do this, and no, and we shouldn't do this. I didn't like that. In this one, I liked
Well, no, they disagreed at first, and they I think they should
and they
have
ended up
disagreed.
doing it.
It
But
makes sense that they disagreed. Like, 'cause you don't know. You're talking about bringing some shit back from the dead. That's not even in this world of fucking gods and monsters. That's some weird shit, and it makes sense that people will be suspicious of that. It
yes,
definitely lasted too long in the Justice League, but the Justice League is garbage. Like, if we're only comparing Zack Snyder's Justice League to the Justice League, which I said multiple times while watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, it's fucking incredible, right? Like, it's a 60 compared to like a 17 that the fucking Justice League is, right? So like, yeah, it's a much better. It's such a better movie than that trash. But like, that's not on its own though. When you on its own, it doesn't. It's too much. It's just too much. It's too much Snyder. It's too much. It's too much of the DCEU. It's too much movie. Like, why were those white bitches singing for 8 minutes as Aquaman was swimming away? Why did we have to see that? It's all why did we see the sesame seed in slow motion, a CGI sesame seed in slow motion fall off of a CGI bagel or a hamburger in slow motion in the truck of the truck driver who's about to kill Iris? Like, we didn't need to see any of that shit. It's just a lot of like, it's
for me, just a part of the scene. I get it. The one scene I will give you is the women singing. There was absolutely no reason for it. That was corny. They fucking singing while Aquaman's going into the water. That was corny. But the rest of it, like I think I said, it worked for the movie, that we saw. And that's why, like, not comparing it to itself, but comparing it to an Endgame, those certain things I can watch in this movie. Like, I can say no issues with them. You know what I mean? Like you say, oh, the slow motion and blah 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 too much. To me, it just didn't bother me. It just didn't bother me. So I like I said, I like the fact that they disagreed. I liked Barry Allen a lot more in this one than I did. Sure, we have better actors in Endgame, but better moments too. There are definitely better moments in Endgame than there were in Justice League. But as an overall movie, I could watch Justice League over and over again, and I just cannot.
How?
And
like, I just don't get how. There's so much movie, and there's so much shit that happens in the movie that you just don't need to see. So it's like you're talking about like looking at your phone and stuff while the time travel stuff is happening in Endgame. And it's like, yeah, sure. You look at your phone and stuff while every single conversation is happening in Justice League. None of the fucking conversations matter. Like, there's so much. I have to set up the world in the beginning, like with fucking Diana and all that stuff, and it's like, it makes the movie make more sense, sure, but like, we don't need to spend this much time doing it. I don't know. I don't care anymore.
Well,
I'm
again, like I
exhausted.
said, that's your opinion, and that's fine with it. But for me, I just liked all the setup in it. I liked the fact that we got to see Diana's world. We got to see Flash. We got to see Cyborg. I thought Ray Parker was fucking great in the movie, so.
I don't know who that is.
Cyborg, Ray Parker.
Oh, Fisher. Yeah.
Fisher, my bad.
Yeah, he was really good. Obviously much better than that trash from before, but also then he's just like a part of the wall or something. No, what? How do they fucking? What happens at the end? I don't.
Part of
He
the
like
wall.
gets benched, or he's kind of useless. No, he's stuck to the mother box, right? That's what it is. Yeah, he's stuck to the mother box, and
well, during the fight at the end, you mean he's trying to break them apart. He's still trying to break them apart.
Yeah, he was just doing that the whole time. It's
yeah, but that scene wasn't really as long as it was in Justice League, though.
I mean, I will say when Superman showed up was cool, and he was like, what's the name, hit him with the axe, and I was like, oh yeah, that's some Superman shit. That's super dope. That's dope. And then he just beats him up. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yep, that's Superman. That's how he works. That's how you use him. You feel what I'm saying? So it's better than than that other thing. But like, it's the end. The if that fucking last, however long is that last hour after Superman beats everybody up and barely misses the Flash a bunch of times and all of that shit. Like, it's like
Superman
that
beats.
Endgame last hour from snap to snap is the fucking greatest comic book anything, and
I agree.
it makes up for that middle hour like whole cloth. As much as I hate all the time travel stuff and how poorly they, as much as I hate how poorly they explain time travel in that movie, all of the scenes where the people are actually doing stuff is all still great.
You mean during the time traveling scene, like
Yeah,
where
yeah,
Captain America's fighting himself and he's America's ass.
yeah. All that shit is great. I know. He said I could do this all day. I know. That shit is incredible. Tony goes back to meet his pops. All that shit is, that whole little moment that they have there. All that shit is great. You were never with the time heist. You sabotaged the time heist. You fucked up the time. All that shit is funny. It's just the rules of time travel don't make any sense, and that's what bothers me so much about that movie, and how they disrespect the Hulk so much about Endgame. But it's way better than the Justice League, and I don't understand how. I don't know, man. It just I care more. I care more about the things that are happening, and I don't care at all about any of the things that are happening in Justice League. They don't do anything to try and make you care either. Like, there's no stakes. You don't see anything that anybody's really afraid to lose because of Steppenwolf, right? Like, everybody has already lost everything that they can, it's Barry's trying to get his pops, you know what I'm saying? He wants to be good to handle that type of stuff. Cyborg has lost everything. He's trying to get his body back. Everybody dies. Like, I don't know what Wonder Woman is trying to really accomplish aside from, like, be great. It's just a lot of, I don't know, man. It's just a mess, bro. It's a lot. There's cool stuff that happens in the movie, and if that's all the movie needs to be, then fine, go ahead. I can understand why you don't like the Joker.
But to you, all that stuff is a mess. But to me, it's not. There's a lot of things in that movie. You're talking about what they're doing. They're trying to stop fucking Steppenwolf from taking over the Earth. That's the stakes of it. You may not see that as the stakes, but that's the stakes of it.
Though.
Of course it does. To you, it don't mean nothing. But how does it not mean anything?
You have to make.
That's exactly what Thanos was doing.
You have to show what right, but they showed. Well, that's exactly what Thanos did. They showed us why it mattered by watching the destruction in New York. When like Man of Steel handled the stakes better than Justice League did, and it's a much smaller stake movie. Even though it's still domination of the world, it's still smaller stakes. You don't have the whole. It's not fucking Apocalypse and whatever his name is, Steppenwolf and it's not the entire Justice League that has to, come in to help and to save him and all that shit. Like, but the stakes are handled much better in Man of Steel because you see how the destruction and all that stuff and all this danger actually affects the people who live on the planet. And that's another problem that I had with that Justice League movie is like, the only person you ever really see is actually an alien, who then shows up at the end of the movie for no reason. It's just so much. It's just.
Are you talking
so
about
many
Darkseid?
times. Nah.
Oh.
But yeah, no, Darkseid is another problem, right? Because like they talk about him the whole time, and he Skypes, he Skypes fucking Steppenwolf for a little while or whatever. But it's just a lot of bullshit. Yeah. But I'm talking about Martian Manhunter, man. He shows up as fucking Martha Kent, and we're like, ooh, Martha Kent, Lois. Yeah, that makes sense. They both love. Oh no, it's actually the green guy. So like, where is Martha? Martha was real important in the movie before this.
You see, I don't see why it's a big problem. It was Martian Manhunter. He was talking to Lois because what he was doing was he was trying to understand, like, okay, maybe it's time for me to start getting involved in what's going on with this Earth stuff. And he's speaking to Lois to let her know not to be down and, this is the Lois that we need and stuff like that. And I was okay with that. Like, I didn't have an issue with that. Him showing up at the end to say, he's going to get into the fight. I was like, okay,
it's pointless.
It wouldn't be pointless if they had another movie, but my thing is it was supposed to be the lanterns, and that's the thing. Warner Brothers wouldn't let him use the lanterns for that scene, so would it have
cut it out? Don't have that scene. That's before you actually was. That's before Warner Brothers fucked you. Like Warner Brothers fucked Zack Snyder. right? They completely whole cloth, no Vaseline. Fuck Zack Snyder. But like you knew that before like that happened. You knew they weren't going to let you do the things before that happened. So Martian Manhunter is in the movie for no reason, and it takes away from, for me it did anyway, it takes away from that moment between Martha and Lois where Martha is convincing Lois to get up. The mother of the man who died is convincing the wife, like, yeah, but you know, you feel what I'm saying? We gotta keep pushing on. That's what he would have wanted, blah, 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 that type of shit. It's like, that's a beautiful thing that then is, oh no, it's Martian Manhunter just manipulating circumstances to maybe help bring Superman back to life or something. I don't know. It's just a lot of.
Again, that.
And then it's too much with the fucking Greek gods. It's too, like, not specifically the Greek gods, but all the allegory to like there's just the gods. I just hate all that stuff. But that's a subjective. That thing there, I hate all of the gods among men, but then they're not even really among men. They're just gods because there's no fucking men. Like I don't care about any of that
What do you
bullshit.
mean there's no men?
There's no people in the movie that anybody cares about. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no people that are like, we understand, like, theoretically, we understand that people are at risk. Darkseid takes over the planet. Like, I understand, I get it. But like, you gotta, at the same time, you have to make me feel it. And that movie did not in any way make me feel any of the stakes.
Well, when you have that first scene where they're fighting Darkseid, you know what I mean? Even though he loses,
gods. Those are gods and
I
Amazonians
know.
and fucking and Green Lanterns and shit. Like, so again, no people.
So they show you the stakes, but there's gods and humans because she tells you that
They showed
gods,
us a battle.
They show you it's God, but they tell you it's gods, Amazons, and humans that went to fight Darkseid. They tell you that in the movie.
Yeah,
so
but that's in that fight that they won and succeeded in. Maybe that's the movie that they should have made. That might have been better. And like that might have been a movie where I would have been, oh wow, this is fascinating.
Yeah, but
like, you know,
but those are the stakes. It shows you that it took these three fashions to take down Darkseid. You understand? So those are the stakes. That's what I tell you. Like he's the top dog. So when
Sure. Darkseid didn't show up though, right? Darkseid wasn't the guy who we were, so there really wasn't. It was like the whole movie is like the promise of stakes, and then that's
yeah, but they're trying to stop him though, right, from coming. So obviously, again,
promise of stakes.
We can't
it's
look
the
at this, but we can't look at this movie as like it was supposed to be a one-off. It was supposed to be 3 movies, right?
I can't praise the movie for stuff that it never got the chance to do. I can't do that. I have to take the movie that I was given and have to judge that. And that's what
you can judge the movie, but you got to understand too. It was leading up to something. He just didn't get to finish it, right? So my point is that sooner or later, maybe if their movies flop, they may end up calling on Zack Snyder to finish up his movies.
That doesn't matter. That's not going to change how trash this movie is.
I'm sorry, I've had enough of this, man. Like, just literally, like you talking about these stakes and everything. They literally save a whole building full of people, right? Like the scientists and everything who've been kidnapped. And then there's all the people outside that the Justice League come in and literally save. The Flash helping all of them up the stairs. There's people involved in this movie. There's humans involved in this movie.
Yeah,
maybe not.
No, they definitely sold the idea of not letting him get to the mother box. They definitely sold that idea to me. But then he got the mother box and it didn't matter anymore,
They went there
right?
to save the human beings. That's what their thing was. They wanted, that was their main goal.
To save the human
Flash
beings
was running
inside
up
the
stairs.
science lab, right? And from the science lab,
And then
where
the science
the
and
monsters
the police
went,
and the army
where the monsters went to get the thing, right? And that thing, they made that. There was a lot of stakes, and we have to prevent them from getting this thing. Then they got the thing, and all the stakes went away again. That's my problem.
Yeah, and you know why that is? Because everyone criticized Man of Steel for having a battle in the middle of the fucking, in the middle of Metropolis and killing everybody. That's why that happened.
I don't understand what you're saying. What are you saying to me?
So
you're saying that the creator who created this first movie heard the outcry and then decided to change, decided to get rid of the stakes in the second movie.
By the way, I was talking first, by the way.
I was asking for clarification. Stop crying because you got interrupted.
I'm not
trying to understand what it is.
I'm not crying to you. I'm just saying, just in case, like, because everyone's always talking about me interrupting. Anyway, as I was saying, the response to Man of Steel caused Warner Brothers to backtrack on those big kind of battle scenes at the end because they got cold feet and they were scared of doing that again. But nonetheless, in this movie, you see the gods, as you say, fighting among human beings. They fight like when the army come and they're trying to like fight off Superman, and the Justice League are trying to hold back Superman from hurting the people. Right? They try and stop the Steppenwolf as well from hurting the scientists. It doesn't matter who it is. You can't say, "Oh, it's scientists, so they don't count." They're still fucking human beings.
Is that what I said? You don't listen to people.
No. Well, I do listen to people. I do listen to people. I'm just saying that in the end, your thesis that they do not interact with human beings is wrong. They do in various action scenes to show the stakes of the thing of what's happening and its impact on human beings. Plus, you know that if he succeeds, they're going to enslave human beings with the anti-life equation.
So you're telling me that Warner Brothers denied him the opportunity to show the stakes, right? That's what you explained. That's what you opened with. They stopped him because they didn't like the way they showed the stakes in the first movie. And then now you're telling me on a smaller scale, they show smaller stakes because it's more palatable, and that's supposed to carry me throughout this movie.
Well, it doesn't matter what's supposed to carry you throughout the movie. I'm just telling you that I'm telling you the narrative of what happened. And I'm saying, even if you want to call that one single weakness in the movie, and there's many weaknesses, I'm not going to say that's the only one, but that's one of the major ones. That's one of the major ones that I always hear you bring up. I don't think that makes a movie like you're gonna like deny, like even the first Iron Man movie, right? Like when he's fighting the boss at the end, it's just them two. It's they hit into a couple of people in the road. That's still a great movie, according to you. It's not. I don't see why you have to have a big battle.
The story isn't about the whole world. The story isn't about everybody on the planet dying. That's not what the story is about in Iron Man. So they showed the stakes in Iron Man. They showed what was at risk in Iron Man. It was about Tony losing his company to the dude, and then the dude continuing to further the war stick. Is to continue to further the war profiteering that Tony was trying to get away from. Right. That's what the movie was
being moved. The goalpost is being moved again.
No, it's not. In a movie that's about the end of the world, you have to show me why I care about
Wonder Woman saving the girls in the bank again. The criticism you're making that human beings.
The movie is about the end of the world. The movie is about the end of the
It's
world.
not about the end of the world.
That's exactly
it's not about the end of the world.
How is it?
It's not about the end of the world.
His name is Apocalypse. What are we talking about?
His name isn't Apocalypse. It's Darkseid.
But anyway, the bad guy's name
comes
is
from
Apocalypse.
a place.
That's the planet that they're coming. That's their whole point. It's about the end of the world.
It's Apocalypse. The planet is Apocalypse.
It's about the end of the world.
Okay, so let's get this like move this over to the side. So there's not enough people. There's not enough people. No, it's not about the end of the world. He's going to enslave the world, but enslave human beings with the anti-life equation.
Anzo, is the movie about the end of the world?
Yes. No. How's it about the end of the world, Anzo? What is Darkseid's plan?
His plan is to end the world, slave the Inhumans, and end human life. That's what it is. Like he turns everybody into parademons. He turns the humans into parademons.
He's going to enslave human beings via the anti-life equation,
and turn them.
He's going to take their will. I don't even know that they necessarily suggest that, but
that's what he does.
I'll even allow you that, right? That's still I don't even get it. So it's the end of a world scenario. So therefore, you have to see
you see the end of the world.
To understand that.
As much
I'm
as
saying
Yellow
that's one way to make me feel the stakes. Is what I'm saying. Hold on. As much they did it better in Man of Steel, is what I said. That's why the destruction of Metropolis even came up. Because they did it better in Man of Steel.
Hold on, Yellow.
And they criticized.
Hold on, Yellow. Yeah. I'm speaking.
I don't care. That's irrelevant.
Hold on. I am speaking. What I was gonna say is they show you the end of the world stakes in that scene that Yellow doesn't like at the end. They show you that basically the world is done and Batman is coming to Superman's coming to kill Batman. So that scene shows you that the plan was an end of the world type of event.
Okay. So here's what I think the movie is about. I think the movie is about, one, a bunch of dysfunctional people who have their who are gods among men, who have problems with whatever society or place that they come from that they're trying to deal with, finding family and finding meaning and hope within each other. That's what the movie is trying to get to. And it's trying to set up for a next movie where you're going to deal with the bigger stakes of dealing with this big time villain Darkseid, who is going to then, come in and with his armada and take over the world. That is what this movie is about. It's about simply getting the Justice League together. Just like Avengers 1 was kind of like about getting the Avengers together. It was getting the band together, essentially. They go through all their little conflicts with each other. And then, through a number of different trials and tribulations and conflicts with the villain, they come together as a unit. Finally, that is what the Justice League was about. Is it very original? No, but is it entertaining as it does it? Does it have good action sequences? Does it have good characterizations of the the superheroes? Does it have moments that are really fucking uplifting or inspiring or just great technical masterpieces of action sequences? Absolutely. I don't see, again, it confuses me, like this criticism. It's the same fucking format as Avengers. It really is when you look at it. Both films are really very, very alike. Except they just have a different tone.
Avengers did it better, though.
I could say in some ways Avengers did it better. I would say in some ways Avengers did it better. I think in terms of the conflict between the characters themselves, they did it better. But in terms of the actual, I think the scale, the operatic nature of Justice League, the seriousness with which it took it, I actually prefer the tone of Justice League. I don't prefer the superheroes constantly having quips and jokes with each other all the way through, making the stakes of the film seem less because nobody's taking anything that the villain is doing seriously. The villain isn't taking what he's doing seriously. None of that makes me feel like, oh my God, this is a genuine threat.
No, man, you know what? Now that you've said all of those words, I completely agree.
Okay, good.
I guess Yellow is just trying to shut Nerdman up there.
I know, but whatever. I don't really care. It's like if that's your mode of art, if that's your mode of discussion, that's fine. I don't mind.
He didn't feel the stakes in the movie. That's fine. I did. I felt that they were there. You know what I mean?
I don't think you did either. I think you just enjoyed all the cool shit that happened on screen.
No, I did.
Which is fine.
Absolutely 100% I did, bro. They were fucking trying to save the world. I understand that you said they got the box and the stakes didn't matter. But yes, they did, because now Steppenwolf has the boxes, and the time for them to get to him and fucking separate the boxes and kill him before he's able to let Darkseid come in and destroy the world. That's a stake to me, and I felt that. So you didn't feel it. I get it.
No. I don't think you felt it. I think you recognized. I think you understood it because
you can't tell me what I felt.
I don't think you felt it. I can't. I mean, I'm just guessing.
Tell me what I felt.
I felt the stakes for the characters. I felt the stakes in what they were trying to achieve. More than I felt the stakes necessarily for humanity. I felt like that what they were trying to achieve in terms of their own, I mean, as I said, the heroes themselves were trying to achieve something, and you could see that they were failing. You could see that they were having problems doing it, and you could see by the end when, Flash turns back time, which is a fucking epic scene, that this meant something to the individual characters themselves. So that's where I think the stakes are. There's a lot of emotional stuff going on instead of world destroying, people running away from burning buildings and whatever. There's many ways of showing or demonstrating personal stakes as opposed to just end of the world stakes.
Yeah, there were some stakes in it, but it is what it is, man. I thought it was a good movie. Like I said, Endgame is not. I think Endgame is number 6 on my list of Marvel movies. So It's easy for me to say that it was better than it, but is it better than Civil War? Absolutely not. Is it better than fucking the first Avengers? Absolutely not. Is it better than Black Panther? Absolutely not. Is it better than Infinity War? Absolutely not. So
No,
that's just
I,
what it is.
I see what you're saying, but like again, I just think there's more beautiful moments. That's what I mean by personal emotional stakes. I think when, for instance, when Cyborg goes into the mother box and then he confronts his family and he confronts his mother and they're saying, you're broken and whatever. That's the personal emotional stakes that the character is going through that he overcomes and goes to the other side. And it's like, it's a beautiful moment where he's like, I'm not broken. I'm not alone. I finally have got like purpose. I think that's what's going on in the movie much more than, as I said, end of the world stakes. So I feel it.
Yeah, but you're talking about, the character stuff and the Justice League coming together. I get that, but they're fighting to save the end of the world. Like that can't be
Sure.
denied. You know what I mean?
Sure. I agree with that. And maybe it could have been shown or demonstrated better. I don't know. But every movie has its flaws or setbacks. It doesn't mean that the whole movie is a piece of shit or like not that good because they don't have a fight in the middle of the city at the end. I just don't think that's. I think that's reductive. It balances out with other things, with moments that are just incredible. Like I swear to God, when the Flash runs and turns back time, the way that was put together, the way the sequence was put together is amazing. And it's not just cool, it's actually emotional, and it's a payoff from things that happen in the beginning of the movie. That's why you feel it so much.
You think that scene is better than Avengers? It is, but do you think that scene is better than Avengers Assemble?
Yeah, to me, I think it is better than Avengers Assemble,
and it's better than.
I felt it more.
It's better than Captain America grabbing Mjolnir.
I wouldn't go that far. When you say Avengers Assemble, you just mean like the circle, right?
Yeah, where it's like Avengers Assemble.
Yeah, no. I think it's way better put together, like filmed, and like just the way it's presented is much better, and the emotional callback to his father, I think that is better. But
Yellow, is it better than those two moments in Endgame?
Again, you're confusing me. Are you talking about Avengers 1 or Avengers Endgame?
He's talking about Endgame. I can't say the problem here is trying to compare something that's a payoff over 22 movies and trying to compare something that's a payoff over one movie. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a hard thing, I think, to equate or try to even compare. I absolutely loved Avengers Assemble and everything that happened after that way more than I loved the Flash scene. But the Flash scene was also incredible, right? Like objectively, subjectively, it's just great.
Okay. I get it.
And I think just based off that, they deserve. I think they deserve to be held next to each other in high regard.
Okay. Yeah. I can accept that.
It's hard to be like because Avengers Assemble we've been waiting for that for at least since the first Avengers movie. You know what I'm saying? So,
but what do you think? Honestly, what do you think is better, like from a filmmaking standpoint? Not forget about like I know it's built up over 20 years
because the franchise is one of the greatest feats in filmmaking. That's ever been done.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand
that. Be like,
but from a technical side of what was actually done, from the score to the CGI effects of what was actually happening, I just think, for instance, that moment of Cyborg, that little origin story of Cyborg, I think is better filmmaking than I've seen in any of the Avengers movies, apart from the fact
if
of
you cut out all the bullshit that was in the movie. Yeah, you have that shit is immaculate. But then you have all of the wasted time in the movie that it just takes too long to get through these beats.
To me, I was never bored, but yeah, I can see what you're saying in that. I'm not saying every single moment was as great filmmaking as what they did with the cyborg scene, but I'm just saying you put that as a little short film. That's a great short film, you know, just that cyborg sequence in
I agree.
itself. And that's because of the way it's edited together, the
agree.
music, the emotion, everything put together, the voiceover, the way it's done.
I was like, I don't know, but for the most part, absolutely, and the fact that they cut it out of the Justice League is a great disservice. And I understand why Ray Fisher was so mad, but it's, I mean, you know, it's just one piece of a otherwise messy movie.
I don't know how messy it is.
In the end.
I don't. It doesn't feel like it matters in the end because of Warner Brothers. It doesn't feel like it but it doesn't feel like what it matters in the end because of Warner Brothers' decisions. It's not because of the filmmaker himself. You can't blame
the problem
him.
That you're having now is you're saying that I'm blaming Zach and I'm blaming the movie for being bad. That's what all of the different reasons why the movie is bad. I don't give a fuck about any of that shit. When you watch the movie, it's bad. Period. That's it.
Okay. Well, all right. I agree with everything you're saying.
Hey, man.
Oh, yes, jab. Got you. Yeah. It doesn't work on me. I've told you this before. I don't care.
No, it's okay. Neither do I.
I don't think it's a bad movie. Plain and simple. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's very well done. I enjoyed the movie. I'll watch it again. You know what I mean? Fuck, I even watched it in black and white and liked it in black and white. So
no way. No, you're going too far. That was terrible. I tried to watch it in black and white. I was like, why did he do this? This is so pretentious.
It's too like, it's very beautiful. I'll never say that it's ugly, even though there are times where they're doing shit for way too long. To watch it in black and white takes away from all of the way, even though I think the color grading was too far. He was like, I wanted to look nothing like the Justice League. Like, it's okay to have warm colors in movies, Zach. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? All the blue stuff is like, all right, I don't care. I feel the same way about the last Harry Potter movies, like the last 3 or 4 or however many there were, where David Yates was just like, no, blue filter, green filter, darkness.
I just think there's, I mean, like, to be fair, this is my difference between the Avengers movies. I might even grant you that they're probably better movies, but none of them got me as emotional. None of them made me cry in the same way. And I get it. Some people cried at the end with Iron Man doing the thing with the whatever. And that is because of the build-up of so many movies and people being invested in these characters. I'm not invested in them, so I don't necessarily have that emotional connection. But the difference between the Justice League, I feel, is it's actually the filmmaking techniques used precisely to put together certain scenes that are the things that elicit emotion out of me. So I look at the way they put together Cyborg's scene, his origin, and with the woman, and the way they chose to tell that while showing his powers and showing him comprehending his powers as just a great filmmaking technique in the same way as, the birth of Dr. Manhattan was. That isn't something that is, because I'm invested in the character over 20 movies. It's because of the scene I'm watching there and how it's being delivered to me. And that's where I say there's something to be said of that there are moments in Justice League that do that specifically because of how the filmmakers' delivery of those things.
Time ago that when everybody was loving the MCU, you were going to hate it. So of course you're not invested in the characters, right? And secondly, to pretend that the MCU never does anything that is emotionally evocative is just.
No, I'm not. But okay, can you tell me?
But then to say that it's only because you've spent so much time with these guys that you care, like that's not the case either.
No. Okay, let me ask you this question, just very simply. Can you point to me a scene in any of the Avengers movies or even any of the MCU movies that is put together in a way that I using the various, because I'm not, I don't know like directing that well, but I can recognize it when I see it. So I don't know the various techniques and, that camera angles and whatever they're using, but something that's put together in the sense of like Dr. Manhattan's origin, right? The way that is put together, it just seems like cinema with a capital C to
I
me.
don't remember Dr. Manhattan's origin.
Oh, okay. Oh, wonderful. There we go.
I do.
I can't go further
I
from
do.
that.
And
I
I
remember
think
it
it
in
was
theory, like I know how it, but I don't remember what it looked like.
where he was forgets his watch and goes inside, and then it gets locked in, and then turns into Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, oh, that was amazing.
Right, and I'm just trying to
And
say
then he explodes or
I
whatever, and
don't know. Oh, you're being sarcastic. All right, fantastic. I don't know.
I don't like watching.
no,
I
and
don't
then
like
he
the
explodes, right? Because that's what happens.
Yeah,
He looks at
yeah,
the.
yeah.
I remember he was looking through a door, I think, and they backed up, like how the Hulk gets turned into the Hulk over and over again.
Yeah, and then it goes and it explodes into this blue big light.
Yeah,
yeah. Meh, it was all right.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Is there a scene that looks that good in the MCU?
It
That's
doesn't
the
just
question,
look
right?
good, but yeah, it's
All right,
emotional and
never
whatever.
mind.
Yeah, but yeah, no. Go on. Is there a scene that looks that good?
I had zero emotional attachment to anything that happened in Watchmen.
Okay.
So that's I don't know. I don't remember ever being like, oh, I feel so strongly for this stuff. It was more of like it was more fascinating, and it was so different from anything else, any other kind of like superhero movie at the time. That it was far more compelling in that sense. And I also remember being bored too a few times.
I remember being
but
bored a
mostly
few times.
just mostly just with the girl in the
I don't think I was in it. I don't think it was emotion. I think it was awe. It was like standing in front of a great painting. That's what I felt like watching Watchmen at times. I was standing in front of a master painter who was just able to create images and things that like really was straight out of a fucking comic book coming to life. And using filmmaking techniques to do that. And I think that Dr. Manhattan scene is a great example. I think also like when they're in Vietnam, Dr. Manhattan and the comedian are in Vietnam. I think when you see him like giant, like this big giant over the Vietnamese people, there's just a lot there that's just in terms of the imagery is just like
that was
or inspiring.
And we have someone that's from Twitch. Welcome, Logical Robot. Snyder has lost his grip on how to deliver an emotional core movie side by side with spectacle. He is more than competent at. Look at the Leondas of 300s and Manhattan, Worcester, and Watchmen. Even the Kevin Costner raised hand in Man of Steel. Cyborg is the only character that comes close to having me care for them. Army of Dead almost made me blind with all the depth of field.
We're not talking about Army
that was Army of the Dead.
We're also not talking about Snyder, really. Not really.
I think we all can
likes to
agree.
go on these asides.
I think we all can agree that Army of Dead was trash.
I didn't watch it, and I'm not going to watch it because zombie movies, I don't care,
Yeah.
Even the good ones, like The Girl with All the Gifts, too many establishing shots.
So you're never a Walking Dead fan or anything?
No, I never watched The Walking Dead. Even when everybody was like, it's the greatest thing in the world, I was like, zombies, it can't really be that good. Let me guess, guys. Is all the drama going to be between the people because there's a bunch of zombies? I wonder why that is. Zombies. They're stupid. And then 2 seasons in, everybody's like, yeah, the show's not good. And I was like, yeah, I figured that was going to happen.
Nah, man, that show's still good. That show's still good. I watched every season of it. I still love it.
You also don't like the Joker and think it's a Batman movie, so...
I don't think it's a Batman movie. I said they have a reference to Batman in it, so that's why I put it there.
It's in the Batman universe.
Unfortunately, I didn't tell you to put it on the list. You put it on the list.
You didn't have to tell me. No one tells me what to do.
You put it on the list. That means you make it you think it's a Batman movie. I can't.
No, there's a reference to Batman in it, so I never said it was a Batman movie.
There's a reference to Batman in Clerks. Is Clerks a Batman movie?
No, but it's
Lurks isn't set in Gotham, is it? And it's not
Exactly.
like got a character called the
Exactly.
Joker in it, and it hasn't got Bruce
Yes.
Wayne in it. Like it is a Batman movie. I don't know
No,
why
it's not a
people have a
Batman movie. That's
problem,
ridiculous.
or not a Batman movie, but it's set
That's
in
it.
the Batman universe.
That's my point. It's not a Batman
It's
movie.
set in the Batman
that's what it
universe.
So is Shazam. Shazam's not a Batman movie.
Yeah, but
There's
there's
a
no.
whole Batarang in that movie.
Yeah, but
what's that got to do with it? It's set in the
I don't get
Batman
it either.
universe.
That's the Batman universe.
That's the Snyder.
Alright.
That's the
Not really.
DCEU
No,
universe.
the Justice League is trash. Is the topic really, and that's they're trying to talk about.
Do you
they're trying
mean
to find
any
ways to
movie
make
that
it less
isn't
trash.
specifically about Batman, or
The reason why
doesn't
the
have
Joker's not a
Batman in it? I don't get it. What's your criteria? Does it not have Batman in it?
My beef is that Batman's not a part of the story. That's Batman is not a part of the story, right? Bruce Wayne is loosely tangentially connected because they think Thomas Wayne is his pops. You see what I'm saying? Batman's not a part of the story. That's why I don't, especially when it's compared to all the other Batman movies that are on that list. It's just him pulling a nerd man trying to like hate as hard as possible on something to get a rise out of people. So
Sure,
Absolutely not.
I get that, but like
Absolutely
you are talking about
You
you are
said
talking
it.
about
Huh?
you are
No, no, no,
talking
no,
about
no,
the
no,
It's
no.
like I
arch,
put it here so that I can hate on it. That's what you said.
but you
No,
are
I
talking
said-
about.
Yeah, but I said, you're right. I did say I put it here, but I also said because it has a reference to Batman and it's
That's
in the
your
universe.
loose. That's your loose
It's
excuse.
not a
to, like,
reference.
put it on the list. That's
It's a reference.
nonsense.
Yes,
It's set in Gotham. You see Batman's parents die in it. It's got like Thomas Wayne as a major
Which
part
is
in it.
another thing
It's
that
like,
shouldn't have been.
but can I say one thing? This is about his arch nemesis. This isn't just any Batman villain. This is about the birth of his arch nemesis. Like I can't think if there's any, movie that you can kind of say, all right, it doesn't technically have Batman as an adult being Batman in it. The fact that
But
it's
not
about
even
his
about
arch
like
nemesis.
Gotham is like that's a Batman story. Gotham is a Batman story. It's all about Gotham. The main character is Jim Gordon, right? But Bruce Wayne is in the movie doing things and plays a part in the plot and how things happen. In this
Bruce
movie,
Wayne plays a
Batman.
part in there.
No, Bruce Wayne does not. No,
He
Thomas
does. He
Wayne
goes to the
does.
house.
Bruce Wayne does. And Stan Lee was reading Mallrats in Captain Marvel. Yep.
No, but he goes to the house, and and that's an emotional thing for him because he sees that he has a son, and that makes his abandonment even worse.
And
Right?
he has direct contact with Bruce Wayne in that little conversation with him. So I'm not saying it's a Batman movie. I'm not Nerdman. I'm not saying it's a Batman movie. But
I'm
just
not
the
saying
fact
it's a
that-
Batman movie.
Okay.
So then why is it on the list with the Batman movies? If
Because there's
nobody's
a
saying it's a
reference in
Batman
it.
movie, why is it on the list with the Batman
Because
movies?
there's a
Like,
reference
what are we
in it.
talking about?
Because there's a reference. in it.
We aren't.
So when you put the reference of
Is it-
Batman in it,
Isn't
then I'm
Batman
allowed-
in the Lego movie too? Batman's in the Lego movie too, right? That's the thing about Batman's in the
Yeah, it
Lego
was
movie
live
too. It's
action anyway we were doing, but he just decided to put the Lego movies in for some reason. So
Yeah, so that I could say that it was better than those 3 movies on the bottom of my list. That's what I did.
yeah, didn't we put Justice League in? We put Justice League in, right?
Yeah, Justice League was
So
good.
I mean, yeah, again, it's anything connected like that is live action
No,
that
but
has
Justice
like a
League,
Batman
but
villain
is a part
or
of
has
the-
Batman
Justice
in
League
it.
is a Batman movie. Justice League is a Batman movie. It's a Superman movie. It's a Flash movie. It's one like they're a part of. They're a main part of this story.
So-
They have something to do with the action of the film, and
So
not action
is-
like pow pow, but the movement of the story. Bruce
So is
Wayne has
Krypton is Krypton not a Superman story? Like a Superman based thing?
I don't think so. No, I
No?
don't think so.
Okay, interesting.
No.
All right, you're consistent.
It kind of is because like the action of it is like to make sure that we get Superman. You know what I'm saying? Whereas the Joker movie has nothing to do with Batman. It's not like let's make sure that we get back. Like the whole reason why he's back in time and all that stuff is because Superman goes, he's back in time because he's trying to ensure that we get Superman because something happens and then they have the whole Back to the Future like cape that like flickers in and out of existence or whatever.
Yeah,
So like
and
the
this
action of
mo-
that story is
yeah.
much more of a Superman movie, I think, than Joker is a Batman movie. But
Yeah, but
I would have to classify it as a Superman movie because the whole reason why the story is happening is to ensure that we get Superman.
To ensure we get Superman, and this story is telling the story of how Batman's main nemesis comes to be, and how he's actually, unbeknownst to Bruce Wayne, connected to, it's almost like his family, like the Wayne family, actually created the fucking Joker. Created the situation that ends up getting them murdered, that ends up turning Batman into Batman. So, I mean,
this is different though,
because if it wasn't for Joker in this movie, Batman never is born, right?
It's tangentially connected, right? It's an offshoot, just like he showed up. It's like an unintended consequence kind of situation. Whereas the whole focus and drive of Krypton is to make sure we get Superman. It's not, hey, look at these events that just happen to have led to Batman, and also because if that's the case, then it's also a Robin story. It's also a Freeze story. It's also Falcone rises to power story. Like, it's also all of these other things, and that's not how that works. You know what I'm saying?
Batman is the
Joker,
central figure in that Gotham universe. You can't just say it's like. He's the central figure, and this is telling how his origin, almost like from a different perspective.
Actually, you know what? You make a good point. I agree.
I know, but he means it this time.
And yeah, with that being said, I am going to close this up as well because it's 5:30 in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yellow's agreeing with me. Everything's gone crazy. It's like,
if you haven't noticed, he was being very sarcastic. He does not.
He's not being sarcastic. He agrees. He knows he
just wants to shut you up, and that's fine. Yellow does it. Talk to the people about your channel, sir.
Yo, man, you already know where to find me, fam. All right, Yellow does it. And also on the Great Council, we can take it the rest of the week off. You feel me? We might do something on the weekend. Might not. We'll definitely be back Tuesday. The Great Council on YouTube. Holla at me.
That is correct. Well, okay. Let me ask this one question too before we go. So, Suicide Squad then 2. It features Batman, Joker, and Harley Quinn, with Harley's origin story being told.
Yeah.
I didn't know why that wasn't added.
Yeah,
I didn't know why that wasn't added.
Absolutely, it should have been on the list. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd still put it better than the 3 on the bottom. But Nerdman, talk to the people.
You would put Suicide Squad better than what?
Don't worry, I'm too tired, man. Honestly,
the three on the bottom.
I'm too tired. Look, my channel is Hot Takes Tuesdays. I'm cool. I'm a cool guy. Just you should subscribe. I don't know.
Look dumbfounded. He's like, I can't believe this fucking.
I'm so tired. I haven't slept for fucking 24 fucking hours. I'm like,
I feel you, man. I feel you. We were up talking till early this morning as well. Was a great time having you guys on. Hope you enjoyed my ranking. I think my ranking was better than everybody that did their ranking on this channel, but that's my channel and I have the right to say that. So
I agree. I like your ranking more than mine. It's true.
Yes. Oh yeah, your rankings are all trash. Doesn't matter.